that way so far. I mean, he's played a lot of time with Marchessault, and they haven't been able to gel. You know, with all of the money the Predators spent in free agency over the offseason, one thing that they did not address is their center depth. And Ryan O'Reilly plays first-line center for the Predators, and to his credit, he's done it pretty well. When he came here after his pit stop in Toronto, I thought, he's a great third-line center. Is he going to be a good first-line center? And he exceeded my expectations last season. But, you know, they wanted Tommy Novak to be that second-line center. He hasn't been able to hold down that spot with any consistency. Colton Sissons has played that position quite a bit, and Colton Sissons is a good hand, but he's not a second-line center. So I don't think that Stamkos has been helped by the fact that he doesn't have that puck distributor on his line that can get him the puck in 5-5-on-5 and drive play. So, I am surprised by the overall lack of goal scoring from Steven Stamkos, but part of me thought that this could happen, that his 5-on-5 play, which was already starting to decline, may fall off of a cliff because of the difference in the quality of linemen.
Last one for you, Adam. Is UC Saros the least of Nashville's problems?
Yes.
But at by the same token, is there any reason to be like, wow, Askarov is, he's starting out pretty well in San Jose, and maybe given where the timelines are at, there's some seller's remorse there.
So this was the big debate in Nashville over the summer because UC Saros was due a new contract, and Yaroslav Askarov was waiting in the wings. And it sort of turned into this Twilight Team Edward, Team Jacob sort of thing, like Team UC, Team Yaroslav. And I was of the mind that the town wasn't big enough for the two of them. Because if the Predators re-signed UC Saros to a long-term contract, which they did, it would block Yaroslav Askarov's opportunity to start regularly in the NHL. When UC Saros arrived on the scene in the NHL, Pekka Rinne was nearing the end of his career. So it worked out well in terms of the timing of their careers. Pekka Rinne was only a few years from retiring, and Saros was on the way up. Meanwhile, Saros is really in his prime, and Yaroslav Askarov is on his way up. So just the timing wasn't right. So when the reports came out that Yaroslav Askarov wanted out of Nashville, I don't think anybody was surprised by that. I wondered if maybe they could make him the backup and give him some playing time to take some starts off of UC Saros' plate because he's been the league leader in starts, I think, 2 of the past 3 years, and I believe he's leading the league in starts so far this season. So it looks like he's on pace to do it 3 of the past 4 years. I thought Askarov could maybe give Saros some breathers. But I guess the Predators thought that it being a backup wouldn't be enough to appease him. So they made the trade, and there is risk involved in that. If Askarov blooms into the top goaltending prospect that everybody thinks he is, and Saros struggles, that certainly will bite them in the rear end. But as you said, with all that's gone wrong with the Predators this season, UC Saros has been the least of the Predators' concerns. If not for him, if you think their record is bad now, if he were even playing at a league average level, it would be much worse.
Adam, we appreciate the time tonight. Enjoy the game, and we'll do this again soon.
All right, thank you for having me.
Thanks so much.
That's Adam Vingan of Sportsnet.ca, good, solid contributor for Sportsnet.ca, also covering the Predators in Nashville.
One quick thing before we pivot into teeing up tonight's game on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, and a part of our stations here, we've got a really awesome opportunity for Leaf fans and any fans, but we've created a 50-50 lottery where the more money that we raise, the more kids we can feed in the GTA and the more that you can win. Our current take-home prize is over $415,000, and someone is going home with that jackpot on December 19th. So if you want to get your tickets by Friday morning at 9 a.m., you also have a chance to win early bird prizes, and one of them is a pair of tickets to an upcoming Leafs game and a signed William Nylander jersey. So go to foodforkids5050.ca or text the word cash to 590-590. It's a 50-50 fortune supporting Food for Kids. Standard message and data rates apply. Ontario only. That'd be a great holiday gift. A pair of tickets, a jersey, and $415,000.
Yeah, I mean, all you need this time of year, family, friends, right? Some
Leaf
time
tickets.
off. Leaf tickets would be great, but yeah, add almost $500,000.
That'd be pretty good.
I'm sure the holiday season might be just like a tad merrier. So we're gonna make someone's holiday a tad merrier. Warm-ups are completing at Scotiabank Arena. So why don't we give you the lines for the Maple Leafs as they prepare to host the Nashville Predators? Top line, Matthew Nyes, Austin Matthews, and William Nylander. Pontus Holmberg will remain on the second line with John Tavares and Mitch Marner. The third line will remain the same, Robertson, Minton, and Lawrence. But the fourth line is getting a bit of a change tonight.
Line.
Connor Dewar, flanked by Nikita Grabenkin, and Ryan Reeves, who makes his return to the lineup after a 5-game suspension that happened months ago. A big hit an illegal hit, frankly, on Darnell Nurse of the Edmonton Oilers. Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Chris Tanev will be the top pair. Morgan Riley will play with Philippe Myers. And then we've got Simone Benoit and Connor Timmins continuing their partnership on the third line. A couple things. You jumped at Grabenkin and Reeves. Is that the most notable lineup thing tonight?
I'm just excited about this Grabenkin kid has got a lot of feistiness to him. And I've been seeing some post-game interviews of him like on the street. I don't know if you've seen those. Like outside the Scotiabank Arena. He's hilarious. This guy should have his own podcast. He'd be in my Spotify
Leafs
Wrapped.
PR probably wants to get
they probably
a hold
don't want
on
him
Nikita
in that.
Grabenkin right now.
But he just loves his life. He loves playing for the Leafs. He loves being a little troublemaker alongside Dewar, who's a guy that goes in there and does it, and Reeves, who's coming back after a 5-game suspension and basically called out Darnell Nurse and said, "I'm going to keep doing this harder. I'm going to keep burying guys." Like, I think that's going to be a feisty line. I don't know if Nashville's the lineup that I'm like, oh yeah, there's going to be some fights tonight. But they got some big bodies. I'm just looking forward to seeing those three together. But yeah, I think the biggest one is that D pairing that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, Nashville traditionally a pretty big team, so I think Grabenkin and Reeves can find some trouble if they want to. But yeah, I'm interested in the defensive pairings because we know Jake McCabe is missing in action, hit with a puck a couple games ago, sort of in the back of the head and the neck area. So he seems to be doing okay, but not ready just yet. But that breaks up the shutdown pair of Chris Tanev and Jake McCabe. And playing with Tanev tonight is Oliver Ekman-Larsson, not Morgan Riley, who began the season playing with Chris Tanev. That was supposed to be the perfect matchup for Morgan Riley. Chris Tanev, the guy who can settle Morgan Riley down and just stabilize him in a way that lets him be the player that Morgan Riley can be. And I think with this move, it's pretty clear here that Morgan Riley's days of playing against top competition is over. Yeah. Oliver Ekman-Larsson getting the nod and the shutdown pair over Morgan Riley tells me that. And maybe that's a good thing, right? They've definitely lined things up to have a duo in McCabe and Tanev who can go out there against anyone, play absolutely massive, defensively responsible minutes over and over and over again, not receive any glory, but to do all the heavy lifting. And it frees Morgan Riley up to play in 5-man units.
Myers.
Yes, but in 5-man units that you hope are offensively focused. So Riley playing with Myers means it's not about status. It's not about how much money you make. It's not really about balance at all. It's about Morgan Riley being away from heavy lifting.
Definitely.
And I think that's fine to a certain degree. He gets paid a lot of money, maybe not as much as he could have been paid because he did take a bit of a haircut to remain with the Toronto Maple Leafs. But I think they are just working towards defining Morgan Riley once and for all. And in Craig Berube's eyes, I think that means not playing defensively responsible or high leverage defensive minutes.
Yeah, Philippe Myers has only played 2 games this year for the Maple Leafs. So it's going to be an interesting match. But I like how they might have different responsibilities, different mentalities, and you're not trying to put a round peg in a square hole.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, that works. Okay.
It says something too about Oliver Ekman-Larsson. I mean, he
can play with anyone.
He
amazing.
Did that last year in Florida, ended up on the third pairing for a Stanley Cup champion team, and you're like, okay, we'd like you there, but he can go up and down. He's been a really, really solid, and you don't really worry about Oliver Ekman-Larsson anymore.
No, you definitely don't. You mentioned it. Those were our lines for tonight, but also Joseph Woll getting the start in net. We teed this up in our pregame show on the Fan pregame. I feel really confident about Woll and Stolarz right now. There's a lot of hockey this month. There's a lot of Maple Leafs games. They played Monday, they play Wednesday, they play Friday, they play Saturday, they play Tuesday. Like, it's just going to be a back and forth situation. You just hope for health and good starts from both of the guys because right now it feels like you feel comfortable putting either of them in net. It's been a long time since we said that. It doesn't feel too much like a discussion, but more of a tandem that, either night they're both going to be able to rise to the occasion and get in the net. So Wall gets to start tonight. And he's been really, really great. I'm not going to give you all my stats because he might be my hint player to watch on the other side. But looking forward to him.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, it's so uncomplicated. It is so refreshing that it's uncomplicated. You just play the guy who's most refreshed. Because, these guys are offering basically equal and high-quality goaltending every single night. A great problem for the Maple Leafs to have. They will oppose UC Saros tonight at net for Nashville, who, as Adam laid out, he's the strength of the team right now. UC Saros is the least of their worries, I think was an exact quote.
All right, you got the Leafs against the Preds. The Preds on a 4-game losing streak, 3 straight losses in overtime. Leafs 15-7-2. Weathered the storm without Matthews and thrived in it. We'll tee this all up on the other side of the break. You'll listen to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of. Like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
The Subaru winter has arrived. The crisp air and negative temperatures mean one thing: camping. Emerge from your icy tent and bask in 4 to 6 hours of sunlight. Enjoy the unmistakable smell of campfire through the glacial wind pummeling your face. Relax by the water, taking in the soothing sounds of thick ice cracking and popping. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Your holiday bonus awaits. Visit your local Subaru dealer for details.
Desjardins Insurance cares a lot about their clients. In fact, it's packed with such a ginormous amount of vast and substantial care that's bursting with even more whoppingly humongous and colossal care. You might be a little surprised when we tell you that all of that care fits in the palm of your hand. With the Desjardins Insurance mobile app, you'll get a big hand with 24/7 paper-free access to all of your home and auto policies, including your digital pink slip. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care.
Believe your ears. The Christmas season has unofficially begun. Holly has returned. A holiday channel with Mariah, Kelly, Sabrina, and more. Turn up the merry and bright holiday hits that get the season lit. Holly, now through Christmas Day on Channel 79 or listen at home on the SiriusXM app.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on SiriusXM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91. And on demand with the SiriusXM.
What's up, hockey fans? Thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out with us during the Leafs game tonight. And I just wanted to say thank you. I'm back. I'm feeling much better. I was down for about 16 to 18 hours, and now I'm back feeling good. So I appreciate everybody the other last game understanding while I was playing the recorded messages from Saturday night's game. That we're done with that now. Tonight, I'm sitting at soccer practice, though, because I'm a busy dad of 4, living the dream. So my people are running it tonight from home, and I'll be in the chat hanging out with you guys. So any super chats, anything like that, we'll let the list run. I'll update that as we go because I'll be listening to the game right there at practice. We'll see you guys back in the chat. Go Leafs, go!
And how much we take them for granted.
SiriusXM, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. NHL Morning Skate.
Logan Thompson with the Washington Capitals.
So talk about a team that kind of found their oats again.
Yeah, we've run a lot of young guys who, have a lot of talent, and we're just looking for fresh starts. And credit this dressing room and the leadership that was in this dressing room. They brought us in, and we just gelled so natural. Guys are playing up to their caliber and proving everyone wrong, and it's really fun to see. And
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellar. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio. Brian Burke.
I didn't like Nashville. I don't like the composition. I told you they had too many violins and not enough cellos. So to me, the anticipation was out of line, misplaced. So how do you fix it? I think you got to get back to the very basics. Change the way you play, change your style of play. It's the only thing you can do. You can't change the personnel much.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Here. This is Molson Leafs Hockey. We're about to bring the war right now. Sound the alarm! On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network. There's a Molson with your name on it.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert for your pre-games and intermissions tonight as the Leafs host the Nashville Predators at Scotiabank Arena on the heels of the Four Nations roster release. You'll see 7 Four Nations representatives between both teams tonight. Marner, Matthews, Nylander, Hakanpää, and Forsberg, Nyquist, and Saros.
Yeah, a couple options maybe left on the cutting room floor for at least the Predators, but also the Maple Leafs. There could have been a lot more than 7, I think, if these teams were not looked at more closely or whatever.
Whoa, shots fired.
No, I think Canada's got the right team in a lot of ways. But yeah, John Tavares was a candidate. Chris Tanev might have been a candidate. Steven Stamkos.
Morgan Rielly.
His name was there. Morgan Rielly's name, certainly.
Anthony Stolarz.
Ryan O'Reilly, maybe at the tail end. But yeah, Anthony Stolarz is a great one. There are a lot of candidates, and only 7 made the team. So we can maybe discuss that a little bit more in an intermission. But I was trying to find a superlative for the Maple Leafs. But I maybe I don't have one. Maybe you can help me out with that. But we definitely have one for the Nashville Predators. They're the most disappointing team in hockey so far this year. I don't think there's really an argument for that. They go out and spend boatloads of money on Steven Stamkos and Jonathan Marchessault and Brady Shea in the offseason. They make a big trade to solidify UC Saros as their number one guy. There were a ton of expectations after Barry Trotz played fantasy hockey over the summer months, and they have responded with a whimper. It's been a really, really bad start for the Predators, and they definitely, if not already, have to readjust expectations and objectives leading into the trade deadline and the stretch run of the season, because it feels pretty clear that it's a hopeless season for Nashville.
Yeah, they have been extremely disappointing. They're coming in on a 4-game losing streak, 3 straight losses in overtime, scoring an NHL low of goals, only 58 this season. And it's not a lot of positivity in Nashville, but a lot of local guys that will get up for a game like this. So you can never take anyone lightly. So let's go to your key to victory, brought to you by our Ontario Honda dealers. Up your game, lease a CRV from 2.99% up to 28 months. Visit HondaOntario.com.
Okay, I did find one positive on the Nashville Predators. They don't score many goals. They give up a fairly decent amount of goals, which is not a good recipe. But they're the only team to allow single-digit goals while killing penalties this season. They've only pulled the puck out of their own net while down a man or two 9 times this year. They've been pretty good, and that's in 25 games, so that's a pretty good ratio. Their penalty kill has been good, and on their special teams opportunities, on their power plays, they're outscoring teams 16-1, so 16 power play goals so far for Nashville. So what does that mean when those are 2 pretty good metrics for a team that has really bad metrics? Well, they're pretty bad at even strength. So the Maple Leafs keep people out of the box. Maybe Nikita Grabenkin and Ryan Reeves don't run wild tonight as the new Bash Brother partnership, and they just make sure that this game is played at 5-on-5. It should be good results tonight for the Maple Leafs. So the key to victory for me is just keep it to even strength if you're Toronto.
All right. My player to watch.
Oh, it's presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit connexontario.ca. Who do you have your eye on, Ailish?
Now, there's a lot of revenge angles or motivational angles by players that either made their Four Nation team or didn't make their Four Nations team. But I am going with Joseph Woll. He has been unbelievable over the last 5 straight wins. He has 1 shutout, a .923 save percentage, a .213 goals against average with almost 5 goals saved above expected. So I'm going to give you 2 bets. I'm going to give you Nashville under 2.5 goals. Remember, they're the team that has scored the least amount of goals in the NHL. So you can get that at -120, or for Joseph Woll to get a shutout, 10-1, so plus 1,000 for that. I just think that he's been really rolling, very consistent, super steady, and his confidence is very high right now. So I'm going to put him as my player to watch with some honorable mentions to those guys that we mentioned that made their roster, either Marner, Matthews, Nylander, Forsberg, Nyquist. I could see someone getting the puck in the net, but revenge angle, Ryan O'Reilly, former Leaf, and Steven Stamkos, who's a local guy. I think there's a lot of opportunities to sprinkle the board, but I'm going to go with a really good shutdown game from Joseph Woll.
I'm interested in that John Tavares goal scoring prop because he might have a bit of a gur on tonight. John Tavares, we know, wanted to make this Four Nations face-off roster, wanted to be considered for the Olympic team. It seems almost impossible to make the Olympics if you didn't make this roster. If you're on the other side of 30 and going to be signing a deal that is going to be of less dollars than what you are currently earning at the moment. So tough break for John Tavares, but it does feel when looking at that roster that, yeah, these are guys in their prime. Speed is going to be at a premium. It's going to be played at a very high level and a very high pace. And I'm not saying that it's fallen off the back of a truck for Tavares. He's still playing at a really high level, but you've got to be at an extremely high level to be playing for Team Canada nowadays.
Yeah, between that line of Tavares, Marner, and Holmberg, both Tavares and Marner have a little something to prove tonight. Marner has been red hot with Austin Matthews out of lineup, and now he's making Team Canada. And as you mentioned, Tavares on the outside looking in, so something to motivate him there, especially because you mentioned he went and played for the World Championship, was the captain, and isn't making the squad this time around. So I'm sure it stings. Like, this is the return of best on best hockey. It's gearing you up for the Olympics. And I wonder if we were to make a prediction when they announced the Team Canada, Team USA Olympic rosters, is it going to be 85% the same players? I think that's even low.
Yeah, I can't imagine it'll be too much different. There are always going to be injuries, and maybe some injury things did factor into the decisions this year. But yeah, it's going to be hard to make your way onto this team if you're not like Connor Bedard or Macklin Celebrini or someone ready to take a big step. It seems like John Tavares is, staying as he is, which is a great thing for the Maple Leafs. Maybe not the great thing if you want to make Team Canada. Let's quickly give you the lines here. First, for the Toronto Maple Leafs, top line, Matthew Knies, Austin Matthews, William Nylander. Second line, Pontus Holmberg, John Tavares, Mitch Marner. Third line, Robertson, Minton, and Lorentz. And they will round it off with Nikita Grabenkin, Connor Dewar, and Ryan Reeves. On the back end, Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Chris Tanev, Morgan Riley and Philippe Myers, Simone Benoit, Connor Timmins. It'll be Joseph Woll versus UC Saros tonight. Not sure we're going to have time to run through the Predators lines, but Forsberg and O'Reilly on the top line, Stamkos and Marchessault, the newcomers, on the second line. And of course, Roman Josi, always back there leading the back line with Alexander Carrier.
Yeah, and the Preds looking for a win. We mentioned it. They've been having a real tough stretch. November was not kind to them. The Leafs had the best points percentage in the month of November. It's December now. Anything could change, but they're looking to build some confidence. They've won 9 of their last 11 and doing extremely well on home ice. So all of that and more to come. We'll send it to the first period with Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The fantasy football season is winding down, and it's time to put up or shut up. Whether you've clinched a playoff spot or have a must-win game this weekend, get the edge you need with Fantasy Sports Radio.
It's time to go ahead and start to look at the fantasy matchups for the fantasy playoffs and plan accordingly.
It's money time. Every decision is crucial. Every point is precious. You need our team of fantasy football experts now more than ever. Fantasy Sports Radio, Channel 87, and on the Sirius XM app, where fantasy football championships are won.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Oh, hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on Sirius XM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on demand with the Sirius XM app.
Score!
24/7 hockey talk.
To understand that you are allowed to legally still check the head, not just the head. The head by itself is a penalty. If you wanted to change it, that would be like in the IIHF. That's probably a penalty at the Olympics. That's probably at the World Juniors. That guy's gone and suspended.
What's up, hockey fans? How we doing tonight? The Leafs, the Preds, a great game ahead. Nashville's been struggling, but they have firepower. The Leafs can't fall into the trap. Thank you so much for being here. Please hit that like button down below, and let's bring some more hockey fans and Leafs fans into this awesome community we have here on TSI. Now, as well, please share this link out on your social media, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. If you don't have social media, that's fine too. Appreciate it. And let's get back to the chat and have some fun. We'll see you guys back in there. Go Leafs, go!
Logan Thompson with the Washington Capitals.
So talk about a team that kind of found their oats again.
Yeah, we brought in a lot of young guys who, have a lot of talent, and we're just looking for fresh starts. And credit this dressing room and the leadership that was in this dressing room. They brought us in, and we just gelled so natural. Guys are playing up to their caliber and proving everyone wrong, and it's really fun to see. And
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellar. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio. Brian Burke.
I didn't like Nashville. I don't like the composition. I told you they had too many violins and not enough cellos. So to me, the anticipation was out of line, misplaced. So how do you fix it? I think you got to get back to the very basics. Change the way you play, change your style of play. That's the only thing you can do. You can't change the personnel much.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellar, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Leafs and the Nashville Predators and the Magicians of the Mesh Mansions tonight, brought to you by Molson. Molson, everyone in. Joseph Woll trying to win his 7th straight game. 2.13 is goals against average. And at the other end of the rink, it is UC Saros. 6-10-5 for Nashville as the puck is dropped and we are underway, and glad you are along with us tonight. It's sent down into the Toronto zone, off the hop and around on the boards. It'll come to the near side. Pontus Holmberg trying to play it out as it comes back to the point. Kept in on the left wing side and a drive. Whistled wide of the net there by Josi. Puck kept in at the point. Another long shot by Forsberg stopped. Josi drives it wide of the net, and it's going to carry him all the way out and down into Nashville territory.
Might want to keep an eye on Roman Josi. He's actually scored 6 of their last 15 goals.
Played down into the corner, and Nashville has struggled offensively as a wraparound attempt is stopped by Wall. And the Leafs have started the game defending in their own end a lot. Puck along the boards is kept alive now by Nashville. Down into the corner for Colton Sissons. Sissons has it knocked away. Myers trying to chip it along the boards and does. And now Nyes finally gets the puck out at center ice for the first time. Nylander in pursuit, trying to catch up to Brody Shea, and it is brought in over the line and down into the Toronto zone. Both teams changing. Played ahead by Timmins, cut off over there by Stamkos. He shoots it back into Toronto territory. Leafs are able to get the puck freed up. Pushed out at center ice by Fraser Minton. Backhanded into the zone. Lorenz goes into the forecheck against Shen. Got a piece of him as the puck comes around the boards. The Leafs were changing their defense tandem, so it's back down into the Toronto end and quickly shot back in by Ekman-Larsson. Leafs trying to get some of their forecheck going here. A hit in along the boards, freed up the puck. Wilsby gets it out, and Shen will bank it up on the wing, and it is cleared into the Leaf end by Jonathan Marchessault. Tanev getting it back along for Robertson. Robertson sent it back. Tanev in traffic. Played it up on the wing. Robertson won't get to it. It comes loose to the left wing side. Nashville into the slot, and a shot by Josi is drilled into the crest of Wall. Is that the first shot on goal? Because the Predators have certainly had a lot of zone time.
Yeah, I don't think the scoreboard is caught up yet with the stats. It's still showing 0-0. Roman Josi's had, about 6 or 7 attempts here in the first 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And for Josi, in his last 7 games, 6 goals, 10 points. Like I said, 6 of their last 15 have come off the stick of the defenseman.
Face-off scrummed again, kept alive by Nashville. Backhanded into the corner. Puck comes free. The Leafs get it ahead, but it's out of the reach of everyone, and it's going to turn into an icing. And it's coming back into the Toronto zone. The Nashville Predators are a lot like the leaderboard at the Masters, not too far away in Augusta, Georgia. When you take a look at their plus-minuses, it is embarrassing. -14, -16 for Colton Sissons. Nyquist -12. Josi is -14, despite what you're saying about his offensive prowess in recent games. Steven Stamkos -11. Ryan O'Reilly Stamkos -14, and Riley -11. So that is an area they have to clean up. They've been great on the power play, but their 5-on-5 play has been atrocious. Puck back of the Nashville goal. Knocked down on the play was Dewar. It comes up on the wing, poked to the line. Myers stood in there to keep it in, and now it is bunted out into the center ice area, and the Leafs quickly bring it right back. Marner's in over the line. Spun around on the play, and as he tried to drop it back for Tavares, it comes out. Brought back in by Meyer. In on the wing goes Pontus Holmberg! Jamming at it! And just getting there was Saros to knock it away from the goal line. Marner made a great little play, but Pontus Holmberg couldn't finish for him. This is a recording.
Holmberg tried to get it back to Marner. John Tavares couldn't find the rebound bouncing around.
Puck knocked out into the center ice area. Brought back in by Carrier. Played into the Leaf zone. Marner able to kick the puck free for Tavares. Got it back to Marner. Marner now circles back behind the net and quickly steps out in front and starts up at center. Marner to the red line, backhanding it high and then peeling to the bench. Robertson into the forecheck, doesn't get there. Minton does. Left wing boards, but has it knocked off his stick. Cleared out into the center ice area. Robertson with it again. Into the corner it goes, and he and Minton go after it. Back of the net for Minton from Robertson. Minton in along the boards, tried to play it back of the net. Knocked away from the Leafs, and the Predators will get it out at center. Played in over the line. LaRue in back of the goal was taken off the puck. Cleared high off a bounce to the line. Just cleared out at center. Robertson trying to get to it. Got it to the line, then decides to circle back as the Leafs are changing. In on the left wing for Matthews. Matthews driving the net. And a wrist shot for the short side was blockered away by Juuse Saros. Pretty good pace to this, isn't it?
Yeah, Leafs on their heels first couple of shifts of this game, but thanks to the Marner line with Tavares and Holmberg, put a pretty good shift together and have turned things around a little bit. Shots on goal just 3-1 favoring Nashville.
Icing call here against Toronto will be brought back.
The best opportunity in the game so far has been the Holmberg's attempt to get it back to Mitch Marner. Would have been a tap in.
You beat the new kid?
Well, Told him to get me a pumpkin spice latte. It hasn't arrived yet.
Did he get you anything? No. Not even a bagel or a donut or anything?
He
No.
treats me just like everyone else does.
Really? No. Alex is going to last long here with that kind of an attitude.
I think he will.
Played down in on goal. Saros punches it to the near boards. Nyes is able to come away with it, tried to take it to the front of the net. Then it comes free in front. Matthews doesn't shoot it. Myers did, and it went off a leg and went wide. Someone's broken a stick in the fray, and it is brought out at center ice by Nashville and shot in wide of the Leaf goal. Look out, it bounces out in front and they score! A long shot from outside center ice. Hit the dasher board just where it meets the glass. It went up in the air and Joseph Wall lost it. And Marchessault, who shot the puck in, ends up getting the gift. And it is a 1-0 Nashville lead on a Fluky goal.
And even though it was a dump in, Marchessault, Joe, was smart enough to go right to the net, because even though Wall didn't know where it was, coming off the glass and dropping over the crossbar to the middle of the net, Marchessault following up on one hop, tapped it in. If he just peels away and doesn't head to the net, the Leafs probably escaped the bad bounce. But Marchessault, who has celebrated signing in the offseason, much like Steven Stamkos, has had his struggles offensively. That's his first point in the last 5 games, only his 5th goal of the season. When last year he had with Vegas. Former Conn Smythe Trophy winner had a career high in goals at 42.
Luke Shen sends the puck down into the corner for Nashville. Trying to center along the boards was Svechkov. It comes free, and now Benoit back of the goal, gets it to Timmins, and he'll backhand it out at center ice. Bouncing puck controlled by Reeves, who sends it to the right wing side, except he was the right winger and there was no one over there. Back come the Predators, in on the right side. Svechkov trying to get into the slot area, and a penalty coming here as the Predator players taken down in a hook will send the Nashville Predators to the power play. A Fluky opening goal. Nashville with a 1-0 lead. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
911, what is the emergency?
Here, around the clock. True crime.
This is Dateline.
New mysteries.
A mother vanishes just before Halloween.
New cases.
The bone-chilling case of the Menendez brothers.
New twists.
There was no way he was going to let this secret get out.
Who can you trust when everything you thought you knew is turned upside down?
People involved are in some pretty high positions.
Real people, real stories, real mysteries. Dateline 24/7, channel 107, and on the SiriusXM app.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on SiriusXM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network.
It's the Nashville Predators visiting our Leafs at Scotiabank Arena in downtown Toronto. Where are you watching this from right now? Let us know in the chat. It's that time of the night. Let us know where you're watching from. Toronto, maybe out in the suburbs, out in Lake Country. Are you out in the rest of Canada? Let us know your city and province. If you're down in the USA, give us your city and state. I'm in the USA. I'll admit it. I'm a transplant. But go Leafs, go. Thank you for being here and having fun with us and letting us know how far out the reach is on game night when we all hang out together and change the world, one insider at a time. Now let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go. Let's beat the Predators. Let's take them out.
Face off in the circle to the right of Joseph Wall, a 1-0 Nashville lead. Predators come in with a record of 7-12-6 and 2-6-4 on the road.
Bottom line is those 6 overtime losses, which have included 3 straight 3-2 overtime losses.
Nashville wins the draw. Josi on the left wing boards for Stamkos. Back it goes to Josi. Josi's going to drive it at the net. That's blocked. Stamkos couldn't come up with the rebound. Tanev blocked that, and he's limping. Puck back on the right wing side is a shot high over top of the goal by Marchessault, and it's caromed all the way down the ice, and Tanev is limping to the bench as he gets there.
Well, the way Chris Tanev plays, this is just another Wednesday, isn't it?
Yep, exactly. Close play at the blue line, might have been offside. The Leafs get the puck, though, and they'll launch it out and down the ice. Nashville on the power play, 16 of 77, 20.8%, 17th. Their penalty kill is the best in the league. But their offense has really been a major league problem for them. And of all of the things to have, that's the one thing you didn't think would be the issue. Kept in now by Marchessault. Josi back to Marchessault, and a shot blocked in front. Cleared to the far wing, and Stamkos gets it back to Josi, near side, looking for Marchessault. Centering pass, and a quick shot by Forsberg. Went off the end boards and comes out at center ice. Right back in again come the Nashville Predators. Played back to the blue line to Josi. Over on the far side. Centering pass in front. Unable to get a shot away as it comes back to Josi. Now to Stamkos on the far half boards. Near side now for Nyquist, a shot. And that's deflecting up into the screen, out of play to stop play with 23 seconds left in the power play. 12:15 to go first period. And the Leafs have been under siege for much of the start of this game.
Like I said, that stat, only the New York Islanders have more overtime losses than Nashville. And if you flip their overtime stats around, instead of being 1-6, they're 6-1. They're right in the mix. 7, 8, 9, playoff contender in the Western Conference.
Which is the reason for optimism if you're a Nashville Predators fan or management.
And I'm still a huge fan of UC Saros, the Nashville goaltender. But when you're only scoring a couple of games, that puts a lot of pressure on the guy between the pipes.
Leafs ice the puck, and with a dozen seconds left, the puck comes to center, and it's turned over. Trying to get in over the line was Marner, but a good defensive play made by Blankenburg. Now back come the Predators to get it into the zone. Wrapped in front of the net, trying to go hard to the net. In front there was Nyquist, and it rolled off his stick. Penalty has expired. Marner with the loose puck, but can't get it out. Nashville with a drop pass in on the left wing. Down into the corner, Thomas Novak. Novak has it taken away, and Benoit will get it out, and the pass for Tavares, the penalized player, went off his stick and down into Nashville territory. Predators back into the attack. And across the line, trying to get in front was Leroux. It comes around the boards to the left wing side, and a long lead pass finds Robertson. Robertson sending it back for Tavares. Tavares will drop it off, and Morgan Riley stretches things out as the Leafs complete their change. Robertson pokes it in over the line, a little too far for Tavares to reach. Predators send it back out into neutral ice. Riley shoots it right back in again. Saros, the goaltender, leaving it back of the net, but a bad pass is gobbled up here by Toronto. Robertson for Matthews. Centering pass goes to Nylander. He carries into the corner, back of the net. Matthews gives it back to Willie. Nylander trying to center. He does! Off the goal post. Matthews rings the iron. Now here's a chance for Robertson, who couldn't get a shot away. Predators will bring it back. So 2 inches is the difference in the game. Right now, 1-0 Nashville Predators. Love to have a buck for every time Austin Matthews hits the goal post. He might be able to retire. Instead, I'm stuck here with you. Played down into the Nashville zone it goes.
Could have hit a lot more posts than that for me to retire.
Play into the far corner it goes. Marner gets it back to the point. Long shot in traffic wide. Rebound back at the net. Holmberg couldn't get it in front. It's rung around the boards, and it finds Ekman Larsson. Over on the right wing side for Timmins. His shot off a body, blocked. Leafs keep it in. Played down into the corner for Tavares. Round back to that centering pass. And another shot that was blocked. Ekman-Larsson getting it back to Pontus Holmberg. Back to Ekman-Larsson. Holmberg had a great chance and he missed it. Now bank pass back from Marner. Ekman-Larsson shot, blocked, rebound in front, backhand. Saros down, and somewhere underneath all of those orange pads is the rondelle, and it's held out to keep the score at 1-0 Nashville. The only goal, Marchessault on a lucky bounce. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Desjardins Insurance cares a lot about their clients. In fact, it's packed with such a ginormous amount of vast and substantial care that's bursting with even more whoppingly humongous and colossal care. You might be a little surprised when we tell you that all of that care fits in the palm of your hand. With the Desjardins Insurance mobile app, you'll get a big hand with 24/7 paper-free access to all of your home and auto policies, including your digital pink slip. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with an estimated range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew will love it too. Huh, maybe it should be called the Civic 2.0. Redefine your drive with the 2025 Civic Hybrid. Visit your Ontario Honda dealer and test drive yours today.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. The one that's hanging out with us, listening to the hockey game tonight, the Leafs and the Predators. Coming at you on a beautiful Wednesday evening. Please hit that subscribe button and help us keep growing this amazing community. We just passed 62,000 insiders. Subscribers, we call them insiders here because you, just by joining us and chatting it up, you're an insider hanging out with us. So thank you to all 62,000 plus insiders who are here hanging out with us right now and the ones that aren't. Cheers to that. Now let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go. Let's get the W tonight. We need to beat Nashville and just keep on rolling. The train is rolling. Let's keep it going. Go Leafs, go. Go Leafs, go.
Landed in the goal crease to the surprise, as a long shot is gloved by Saros, to the shock, never mind surprise, to the shock of Joseph Woll. Marchessault followed it up and tapped it in to the net.
And that's where you give Marchessault credit, though. I mean, he follows the puck to the goal. If not,
nothing happens.
If you do a big lap in the high slot and you're not in full pursuit, you don't get the lucky bounce or you don't take advantage of it.
Myers gets the puck out at center. Jake McCabe not in the lineup again after that puck struck him in the back of the helmet and neck area in Florida, as it's brought out at center ice by Robertson. Sends a long shoot in and a big rebound goes to Lorenz and a shot, and Saros had to blocker that aside. Round back of the net. Brady Shea sends it down the ice, and an icing call coming here against the Nashville Predators. Coached by Andrew Burnett and good friend Derek McKenzie, one of the assistant coaches, had a nice chat with them before the game. And Darby Hendrickson, who used to be an assistant coach in Minnesota
for years, yeah.
And is from Minnesota, but he is one of their assistant coaches as well.
They would have been together in Minnesota when Burnett was an assistant coach with the Wild.
Yep. Centering pass by Nyes was blocked. Comes free to the left wing and backhanded out by Evangelista and forcing the Leafs' Timmins back into his own zone, and he drops it off, and now Benoit with skating room down the left wing boards. Drops the puck back to Timmins. Timmins looking for an outlet, is running out of options. Outplays it ahead, and Matthews comes back to the puck and has it free to the left wing side to Benoit. Benoit chipping it along the boards. Nyes gets across the line. Couldn't make a little pass there to get it to Matthews, and the Predators will send it back out at center as the Leafs have changed their defense. Chris Tanev, who heals extremely quickly, is back out there.
I think it's his first shift, though, since taking that shot.
I think you're right. Brought to center ice now by Yossi. He shoots it in and around the boards it goes. 7:46 to go first period. 1-0 Nashville. Played ahead and on the left wing it comes. Ekman Larsson glances it off the glass and around back of the net where Saros will leave it for his defenseman. Near corner for the veteran Luke Shen. He gives the puck away. Into the corner it goes now for Grebenkin. He is pasted there by Shen. That gets everybody noticeable. And now up on the right wing side, Marchessault tries to get it out. It comes in on the left wing, and the Leafs are able to bank it back towards the blue line. Then Grebenkin ran into his man, but the puck goes around back of the net. Morgan Riley took the wrong route, but fortunately the Leafs intercept a pass, and now Reeves turns it up on the right wing side, and it is Riley shooting it in. Predators back into the defensive zone. Blankenberg gets it down into the Toronto end. Timmins reverses the puck for Benoit. Bank pass along the boards. The Leafs don't get it out. Sent around back of the net. Unable to track it down was Leroux. Up on the wing it goes, and it is kicked there by Marner, but not out. Then a shot from a fairly distant spot is easily handled by Wall. And that is the 7th shot on goal for the Nashville Predators, which equals the tally the Leafs have had on UC Saros.
So the Leafs on a shoot in by Ekman Larsson very nearly got the same kind of bounce. Went off the glass. Saros went behind the net to stop it. Came out the other side and off the side of the goal. But no Leaf was there to take advantage of it. Do you think Luke Shen was saying to Grebenkin, look, this is how we do it in this league for 15, 16 years?
Now, things get around fairly quickly, don't they, in this league? Cleared in by the Leafs, but it's going to be an icing call. You can't hide anymore. That sort of gets around fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Face off back in the Leaf end.
And players like Luke Shen will say, all right, make a little mental note. And if you see 71 in a vulnerable position, do not let up.
No. Well, as Grebenkin said, game's still on.
Yep.
Shot deflected there by Wall into the corner. There was a second left in the game, and the Leafs were winning 4-1. It is borderline cheap shot, of course, but hey, young man's trying to make a name. One way of doing it. Played along the boards. Riley keeping it in for Toronto. Gets it back again from Pontus Holmberg from a sharp angle. His shot was blocked. Holmberg in the corner. Protects the puck nicely. Then is tripped. And the Leafs are going to go to the power play. I called that from up here. Did you hear? I said he was tripped.
Yes.
Years of experience, Mr. Ralph. 43rd season. I've seen a trip or two in my life.
Yeah. And
I've been on a few trips myself.
Very few
Not
people.
recently.
Very few people can call them though.
No,
Yes.
you're right. Good point.
Yeah.
Leafs to the power play when we return. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
One game remains in the quest for the MLS Cup, and it's on Sirius XM. A pair of traditional powers have returned to prominence.
New York Red Bulls have their second. Red Bulls 2-0.
The Red Bulls are dreaming of claiming their first title, while the Galaxy look to lift their record-extending sixth.
Puig plays it in for Joveljic. Fires! Score!
It's New York against LA in the MLS Cup Final. Live coverage from Los Angeles begins Saturday at 4 Eastern on Sirius XM FC 157.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Hard hit.
Goal.
What's up, hockey fans? Thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out with us during the Leafs game tonight. And I just wanted to say thank you. I'm back. I'm feeling much better. I was down for about 16 to 18 hours, and now I'm back feeling good. So I appreciate everybody. The last game, understanding while I was playing the recorded messages from Saturday night's game. That we're done with that now. Tonight, I'm sitting at soccer practice, though, because I'm a busy dad of 4, living the dream. So my people are running it tonight from home, and I'll be in the chat hanging out with you guys. So any super chats, anything like that, we'll let the list run. I'll update that as we go. because I'll be listening to the game right there at practice. We'll see you guys back in the chat. Go Leafs, go!
New Sirius XM app.
Join me, Fort Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
And the Leafs Radio Network.
Leafs to the power play, trailing 1-0. Penalty kill is the best in the league for Nashville. They've allowed just 9 goals and are 89% in the penalty kill. Matthews taking the draws. Tavares got waved out, and the puck comes back to the blue line, and Marner walks the line. Marner back to the near side, off Nylander's stick. Matthews will be able to keep it in. Swept it over to the far side for Tavares. Tavares against the boards, comes out of the scrum. Tavares working to the point, drops it back for Marner. Back to Tavares, dropped for Matthews. Matthews mishandles the puck, regains. Gets it to Willie. Down low now for Nyes. Someone's got to take this thing to the net, though. Nyes working on the boards, double teamed over there, and it's shot down the ice. Nyes had the puck right at the foot of the crease and then decided that it was a better option to stick handle it into the corner. Now Matthews down the left wing boards, overskates the puck. A scrum along the wall with 3 Leafs there. The puck finally dug out, but it's volleyballed out and down the ice, and Wall's going to have to come out and play it because it's only a Nashville player back there chasing it. Leafs with 5 forwards again on the power play to start. And 58 seconds left in it. Nylander hits the line and gets into the zone. Played it off on a wing, and now a turnover. And back come the Predators in over the line. Cole Smith trying to get a shot away off the glove of Wall. The danger of having 5 forwards was right there. Are you detecting I'm not a fan? Brought on now by Robertson. He fires the puck around the boards to the far side. Comes back to Nylander, who remains on. Nylander around back of the net, stopped up. Lost the puck against the boards to Carrier. They have it pinned up against the wall with a crowd developing in there. Minton hoping for a loose puck to develop. It came to the side of the net. Leafs are able to get it back to the blue line, and Riley has it in the slot. Over on the right wing side. Saucered back to Riley. Touched over for Nylander. Wrist shot coming! That was deflected. A rebound! Good save, Minton. Another shot! And that went high and wide on the rebound to the far side. Kept in by Riley. The penalty is over. Ekman-Larsson tries to shoot it, but it hit a leg. And out come the Predators to center, but Dewar was being exchanged and hopped over the boards and was in perfect defensive posture there to break up what might have been an odd man rush. Second unit got more opportunities at the net than the 5 forwards did. Still 1-0 in favor of the Predators. Puck back in the Toronto zone. Dished off by Nyquist. Back to the point. Wrist shot coming. Blocked in front of the net. Chris Tanev gets another bruise. Puck into the corner and now controlled by Connor Dewar. He'll bank it ahead. And Grabenkin can't get it through center ice as it's shot right back down into the Toronto zone. Benoit chasing in the corner as it comes back to the point. Out. Whoa. It touches O'Reilly.
Too many men.
Yes, exactly. O'Reilly was trying to get off.
Or is this just going to be an early substitution? They can call that as well. Or are they going to call it too many men on the ice? It did hit the guy that was leaving. And his replacement was no doubt back in play. Yeah, I think they're just going to call it.
Nope. Someone's coming over here.
No, they are making the call. A bit of a bad break. Ryan O'Reilly plays in the Leaf zone, goes to the Nashville bench. His replacement jumps on. Well, no, wait. They've still got 5 players on the ice. No, there is no penalty.
Nobody went in. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
now,
this is more.
Let's just suggest that maybe it was the foot or the shoe was on the other foot. What do you think the chances of the Leafs having that call? Here's a centering pass, and the net gets knocked off in behind Saros. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
No, but I think the rule is if it hits somebody that's exiting the ice.
Yes.
It's not where you had the extra man
touching
like
it on
six guys in play.
I completely agree with the rule, if it's called like that. I'm just saying.
You're a conspiracy theorist?
I'm a conspiracy theorist. Yes, I am. Face off outside the line, the net being repositioned. The officials tonight are Kyle Raymond and Chris Rooney, Dan Kelly, who I don't believe we've ever had. I don't remember the linesman Dan Kelly doing a Leaf game. Devin Berg is his partner on the lines.
Yeah, we would certainly remember that name because of the great
Dan Kelly, yes.
Voice of the longtime voice, Hockey Night Canada and the St. Louis Blues. And many will always remember his call of Bobby Orr's goal in 1970.
Yes, absolutely.
Flying through the air. Not Dan Kelly, Bobby Orr.
No, it would have been quite the sight to see Dan Kelly fly through the air. Leafs play it down into the Nashville zone. Puck turned over and trying to go to the net was Nylander, and he got tripped, but no call. Rolls in wide of the Leaf goal into the far corner with 2 minutes to play. Played in along the boards on the near side. Good play over there on the defense to knock it along the boards by Ekman Larsson. He ties up his man again against the wall back of the goal. Marchessault trying to dig it free. Got it back towards the blue line, but it's intercepted. Nylander starting out, drops it off on the left wing for Matthews. Matthews stick handles in. Pulls up and plays it off the left wing boards for Morgan Riley. Riley centers, but it's by Pontus Holmberg, who was in the slot. And the Predators get it out at center. Evangelista in with a shot. And that is stopped by Wall, and he's going to cover up on it and bring a face-off in the Toronto zone with 1:23 left to play in the opening period.
Leafs have been able to push back here. I thought the first 2 or 3 minutes were probably Nashville's best offensively. Ended up scoring the only goal of this period so far in a fluky dump in midway through the period. But the Leafs now out shooting Nashville 12-9. And again, probably their best opportunities were not even registering shots on goal.
Holmberg stand on a pass, and the Leafs have sent it the length of the ice.
Boy, that was a great job of avoiding getting in the path of an icing call. The defenseman actually turned away from it, stopped, and I think Mitch Marner's looking at going, hey, come on, we all know what he just did there. And we'll see if there's going to be any kind of significant moment here with 1:13 to go, and instead of the Leafs playing on, face off in their own end of the right of Joseph Wall.
Pontus Holmberg has struggled a little bit this period. He had a couple of chances in front of the net that kind of botched, and then.
And again, I don't think it's as easy to play with skilled players as you would think, because sometimes
you don't think the way they do.
Yeah, you force yourself to try to maybe overthink.
Shen keeps the puck in off the point. Puck goes into the corner for Tanev. He gets it ahead, and here's Tavares. Across the line and into the slot. Tavares with a shot. That was blocked. Tavares bodies his man, and Marner comes out with the disc. Marner to the left wing point. Tanev closing and driving it at the net, and that was blocked. Tanev is able to keep it in. Fed around back of the net for Tavares. Now for Holmberg, trying to get it in front of the net. Marner couldn't come up with it initially. Holmberg can't keep it in, and it's out at center ice. 37 seconds left in the period. Shot back into Nashville territory. Centering pass. Back of the goal. Trying to one-hand it in front of the net was Holmberg. Comes back to the point. Kept in by Morgan Riley to Marner. Marner in the slot. Off on the wing, and Ekman Larsson couldn't deliver. 19 seconds left. Riley down low. Here's a chance for Minton, trying to drive it off the side in the short side, but Jussi Saros was there to cover up on it, and he holds. And I'm a fan favorite of Jussi Saros too, for the one reason he looks more like us. He's small. He's not the big gargantuan goalie.
You think you and I look the same?
No, you're much bigger. But I'm still playing, so I'm better.
All right, now.
You understand what I mean.
No, not when you said that. No.
Right.
Yeah, he's more old school. He's not 6'3", 6'4", and has to be very acrobatic.
Very agile. Yep. Cross the line.
Unlike you and I.
Good point. That is a good point, and very valid. Here's a chance for Nylander. A deflection just as time runs out, goes wide of the Nashville goal.
5'11", 180, by the way. UC Saros.
He's huge.
It's a little taller than you.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm more John Bauer height.
Yes, let's go with that. Because everyone I said they've seen you play, and you're about the same height as Johnny Bauer.
Yeah, and nowhere near as good. Thanks very much. Yeah. Well, I understand that. Are we done here?
Well,
you got anything else?
We were done a while ago.
All right. Well, we're going to ship it off because we've got Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert standing by. Fluky goal from Jonathan Marchessault has the Predators out in front 1-0. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Move to the sound of a global phenomenon. Hits Uno. The planet's top trending Latin pop hits from breakout stars like Peso Pluma, Karol G,
They're going to the second round. Do you believe this? Holy Mackinac! Point taken. 2-0 Toronto. 2-on-1. Minor in over the line looking for Tavares.
Thank you for finding us. Thank you for sharing out the link and bringing more hockey fans to our awesome community here on TSI. And let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! Let's tear them up.
Game on his stick. Score!
Changing the world, one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, go Leafs, go.
Stanley Cups and 2 Conn Smythes, Wayne and Sid. Just it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
SiriusXM, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. NHL Morning Skate.
Logan Thompson with the Washington Capitals.
So talk about a team that kind of found their oats again.
Yeah, we've run a lot of young guys who, have a lot of talent, and we're just looking for fresh starts. And credit this dressing room and the leadership that was in this dressing room. They brought us in, and we just gelled so natural. Guys are playing up to their caliber and proving everyone wrong, and it's really fun to see. And
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellar. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scored the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio. Brian Burke.
I didn't like Nashville. I don't like the composition. I told you they had too many violins and not enough cellos. So to me, the anticipation was out of line, misplaced. So how do you fix it? I think you got to get back to the very basics. Change the way you play, change your style of play. It's the only thing you can do. You can't change the personnel much.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM Radio Network.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert for your intermissions, with the Leafs trailing 1-0 to the Nashville Predators after 20 minutes on the weirdest goal ever. I don't know if you've seen it enough.
I mean, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what happened, but from the heavens for Jonathan Marchessault, who's having pretty disastrous start to his first campaign with the Nashville Predators, but he hits a big milestone with a massive gift. You're not going to find a bigger gift this holiday season than the one Marchessault opened there to open the scoring in this game, I guess off the dasher, high in the air behind Joseph Woll. No chance for him. No chance really for the Maple Leafs to prevent it. And if you tried that 1,000 more times, you wouldn't be able to convert it.
There's no way. A dumping off the dashers. It does a spin up in the air, curls. I don't even know. I didn't take physics, but we need somebody that's a physics major to get the probability of that happening, landing perfectly on the back of Joseph Woll, bouncing into the net. It was ridiculous. But yeah, you mentioned it. He needs it. He's having a tough start to his season. Obviously, a new acquisition to the Nashville Predators, 4 goals and 12 points, and -10 coming into tonight. And 500th career point. That'll be one to remember. So how was your 500th career point? It was just a beautiful goal against the Maple Leafs.
You'll never see anything like it.
It's one of a kind. But yeah, we talked about this Predators team coming into tonight. Very, very bottom of the NHL in terms of a lot of their statistics. They are just on a bad way. But they get on the scoreboard first, looking to break this 4 straight loss, 3 straight OT loss streak that they're in. And Marchessault gets them on the board early. But I didn't think the Leafs really got into the danger zones in that period. They were very passive on the outside. And I know Bonesy had a bone to pick. That makes a lot of sense. Bone to pick a few times with the Leafs having the puck within the crease, within striking distance on the power play, and just opting to curl back and to regroup or to pass it. So it just feels like they're not attacking the dangerous areas.
Yeah, even in the final moments of the period, William Nylander is coming down on a 2-on-1 or definitely an odd man rush where there's a scoring opportunity, but you got to beat the clock. And usually that puts some urgency and let's get a good shot on net. And yet I don't know if the awareness was even there to realize how little time was left, because he tried to feather one over and it just never got through. That was kind of the story, it felt like, of the first period for the Maple Leafs, who were probably in better positions overall than Nashville was, but was trying to be a little too cute with it, at least it seems. And I think those problems extended to the power play that they had as well.
Yeah, the power play has changed a little bit, obviously with the 5-forward power play unit. I said this last time we were on the air. It's not my favorite thing. Not that they've been bit by it yet. It's a one-way train. We're all forwards. We're all trying to score. And I don't know. It doesn't feel as organic and as simplified. I think it felt when Austin Matthews wasn't in the lineup. And I'm not saying to take Austin Matthews out, but their power play started clicking through that stretch where there's no Austin Matthews, because they were just taking the puck to the net and trying to score. And they weren't doing so much backtracking, setting up and regrouping and being really fancy. It was really dumb and successful.
Yeah, the numbers match the eye test too. The power play definitely beginning to sag. 4 for the last 26, running at about 15%. That was, beyond Matthews' return, but it just hasn't looked all that pretty. And again, it feels like a personnel issue. You got all the talent in the world out there, but 5 forwards is definitely zigging when everybody else is zagging, but also it just didn't work with the personnel when there was a defenseman on that unit. So I don't know. It's sort of back to the drawing board, and the simplicity that they showed, especially in Matthews' absence. I'm sure there are lessons and learnings to draw from that.
This is also the league's best PK in the Nashville Predators, 89% success rate. So yeah, you still got to find a way, though. They're one of the worst teams in the NHL.
Yep, that's the one thing that they're doing really well.
Yes, and they did well in that period. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We'll do a quick out-of-town scoreboard. Not too many games on in the NHL, just 4 in total tonight. And we'll wrap up with a couple more thoughts before we send it to the second period. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian, Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
The scrape of blades, the clash of sticks. Hockey's more than a game. It's unrelenting, never give up moments that make you feel alive. And so you commit to the weekly ups and downs, the long road to the playoffs. You wear your heart on your sleeve and your jersey with pride. And when you're there for your team, the NHL shop is there for you. Check out the largest selection of official NHL gear at nhlshop.ca. A Fanatics experience.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with an estimated range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew will love it too. Huh, maybe it should be called the Civic 2.0. Redefine your drive with the 2025 Civic Hybrid. Visit your Ontario Honda dealer and test drive yours today.
Desjardins Insurance cares a lot about their clients. In fact, it's packed with such a ginormous amount of vast and substantial care that's bursting with even more whoppingly humongous and colossal care. You might be a little surprised when we tell you that all of that care fits in the palm of your hand. With the Desjardins Insurance mobile app, you'll get a big hand with 24/7 paper-free access to all of your home and auto policies, including your digital pink slip. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Ah, at last, the Subaru winter is here. It's the perfect weather for the beach. Feel the sun's rays on the small amount of skin peeking out of your ski mask. Put on your beach puffer and hear the sound of the waves crashing over the chatter of your teeth. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Your holiday bonus awaits. Visit your local Subaru dealer for details.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Welcome back to Most Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan of the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert for your intermissions. It's a 1-0 lead for the Nashville Predators over the Maple Leafs thanks to a once-in-a-lifetime goal by Jonathan Marchessault, who was not named to the Four Nations roster earlier today. Let's talk about our colleagues at Sportsnet for a second.
Okay.
Getting ripped apart online because they made a notable admissions from Team Canada.
That'd be the first time ever.
a roster graphic. And in the omissions from Team Canada, omitted from the omitted list was John Tavares. Not even in the 4-line deep omissions of Team Canada. I think he would deserve to be on the omissions team of Team Canada.
Yeah, that's a little salt in the wound, right? To be snubbed from the snub list. I don't know if I necessarily agree. And maybe there's reason to flame away
there's
just a little
13 more better forwards than John Tavares?
No. I think I probably would have Tavares in that top 12, but I don't know if it's like that comfortable. There are a ton of players that deserve consideration here. And Tavares is a center, and the Canadian team is pretty deep at center. So I think there's some reason to, at least some rationale behind that. But I do think, and again, it just feels like you're piling on. But I think a tournament played at that speed is going to be difficult. He's kind of a half-court guy now. He's not like a great player in neutral ice. But when you get 10 toes down and you're deep in the offensive zone or deep in the defensive zone, he's a strong guy who has an awareness of these zones. But the problem is getting to zone. And again, it's not a problem at this level, but it may be against like the elite of the elite. in the NHL who are representing their nations at the Four Nations face-off.
Totally get it. Let's take one first look here at the NHL scoreboard presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 18 plus. Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit ConnexOntario.ca.
Late night in the NHL, which is a departure from the norm, I suppose. It's been very busy in these segments. But yeah, only one other game ongoing right now. The Bruins and Blackhawks are knotted at 1 after 1, and still to come tonight, the Stars and Kings at 10 p.m. and the Golden Knights and Ducks also at 10 p.m.
All right. Leafs and Preds going into the second period down 1-0. Holmberg in the top 6. You vibing with that?
Okay, this is my Holmberg take. You were too busy like being on the path to like Dartmouth and playing professional hockey to be playing video games. But I feel like Pontus Holmberg is the creative player that you've yet to add attributes to.
Oh.
Which means like, yeah, the speed's like the stock and the skills, the stock, and all the other things are the stock. And maybe you gave him a couple stars in the defensive acumen category, but he can get to those spots, but he just can't make something happen in those spots. He's like the definition of a replacement level player in that, yeah, you can kind of put him anywhere and you can get by with it, but they need someone in that position who was getting looks to be able to put the puck in the back of the net.
Is it too late to add those attributes?
This has been something, it might be.
I'm not a gamer.
It might be for Pontus Holmberg, who I guess didn't make the Sweden squad.
Poor guy. You're right, though. I have never
stiffer competition than Finland.
I'm not a video gamer, but now that the adding PWHL to EA Sports, I might have to get my first console. Should have done that on Black Friday or Cyber Monday. All right, Jim Ralph and Joe Bone will have the call the second period next. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
This week on Let's Go with Bill Belichick, Max Crosby, Peter King, and me, Jim Gray.
Just 3 wins so far for the Patriots. What's your feelings?
Yeah, just haven't done enough to win very many games. It's hard to see them, going through that type of season. There's nothing I can do about it. I mean, just feel bad for a lot of those guys. It's a National Football League. It's very competitive. You got to find a way to stand up to the competition. And that's a challenge for every team.
Listen to the extended version of Let's Go, now available exclusively on the all-new SiriusXM app.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on SiriusXM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91. And on demand with the SiriusXM app.
Score!
The UEFA Champions League is back on SiriusXM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on SiriusXM FC 157 and the all-new SiriusXM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM. Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
And the Leafs Radio Network.
Lottery, where the more money we raise, the more kids we can feed in the GTA, and the more you can win. The current take-home prize is $415,000. Someone's going to win that jackpot on December the 19th. But if you get your tickets by Friday morning at 9, you also have a chance to win early bird prizes. One of them is a pair of tickets to an upcoming Leaf game and a signed William Nylander jersey. Go to food4kids5050.ca for the text word cash to 590-590. It's the 50-50 fortune supporting Food for Kids standard message. Data rates apply, Ontario only. Second period is underway. Leafs to the left and the Predators to the right. as the Preds get it in over the line on the left wing. Nyquist down into the corner, centering pass was knocked wide of the goal and back of the net. Tanev lifted off his skates there by Forsberg without a call.
Seemed like a rather simple one to make.
I
thought you said you've seen tripping penalties.
Seen one like that. Leafs back in their own zone. Pontus Holmberg.
There's a conspiracy theory back.
I am. Yeah. You know what? If they just give me a whistle. Shot down into the Nashville zone. Around back of the net. Brady Shea gets it up on the far side. Chipped in over the line on the left wing, just out of the reach of Zachary Leroux. It comes into the slot area. Myers had it knocked away. Loose puck in front, knocked away again, and the Leafs are able to break it out. Robertson down the right wing. Chips it in over the line, makes a nice play to get in the way of his checker and gets it around the boards to the left wing side to Riley. Back to the point to Myers. Wrist shot is into the glove and held by Saros to stop play. The first period was brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit connexontario.ca.
As you mentioned, goal scoring has been a problem for the Nashville Predators. 2.32 goals scored per game. In fact, they've been shut out 4 times already this year.
Nice chat with Barry Trotz. Just saying, of all of the problems we thought we might have. A wrist shot here, blocked, good play. Rebound now for Nylander. He goes around back of the net, got it back to the point. Quickly now to Timmins. Timmins into the slot for Matthews. Matthews has it stolen away. And now with one man back, there's 3 Predators in across the line. Drop pass onto the wing, and a shot is deflected by Tanev up into the screen, or by Benoit rather, up into the screen, out of play. Good defensive play by Benoit. Matthews, who gave the puck away, was on his horse getting back into the slot area, but it was the stick of Benoit that prevented a shot on goal.
Really, I think the mistake made on that play was Marchessault's got the puck in the high slot and then went back down low to the bottom of the circle, so a 4-on-1 break is wasted and an opportunity for the Nashville Predators. You would have thought after that first goal he'd have a little confidence, wouldn't you?
Yossi gets it around the boards on the near side. Preds keep it in on the boards. Carrier then has it go up off a stick and into the screen and out of play once more. So the face-off will be in the Toronto zone. Leafs again at home on Friday night. Busy week.
Yeah, for the boys.
And Saturday they're on the road. So Washington here on Friday night. Draw to the right of Joseph Woll. The draw scrum, knocked down on the play was Dewar. He's on the seat of his pants as Riley swings the puck around the boards, but Yossi's going to trap it, send it towards the net. That's deflected wide. Myers overskated the puck. Centering pass came off a stick, and it's swatted out at center, and racing after it is Grabenkin. But he's not going to get there ahead of Josi, who outskated him. On the far side, Reeves couldn't come up with it. Ryan Reeves back into the lineup after serving his suspension. And in his words, I'm not changing a thing.
That's a little late now, isn't it?
Yep. Puck in the offensive zone. Dewar had it come back towards the blue line. Timmins trying to shield it to keep it in, but the Predators are able to knock it away. Svechkov gets it out at center, and it'll be chipped into the Leaf end by Wilsby. Puck back of the net. Brought out by Benoit. Skating through center. Bank pass tipped in by Tavares. Into the corner and swept around the boards. Pontus Holmberg to Marner. He fanned on a shoot around. Cut off back of the net by Ryan O'Reilly. And it's cleared off the boards and out at center ice. Tanev going back behind his goal. A pass off a body bounces to center. Riley sends it back in for Nashville. And the Leafs are regrouping in their own zone. Marner with the puck. Marner had it stripped away. Tanev has to hustle back to save his defense or his forward. And now the Leafs have it with a rink-wide pass to find Tavares. In across the line with Marner. Pass blocked again. And the Predators get it to center, and the Leafs have just really not been sharp.
Well, a big part of that is, Joe, they're trying to force plays now. And we always giving them credit for sticking to game plans.
Predators in with a shot that was partially stopped by Wall and trickled through the goal crease, but no one there to do any damage. And Nylander gets the puck out. Now kicks it free, and Nylander's in on the right side. Nye's trying to go to the front of the net. Nylander tried to beat the defenseman with a little inside-outside move, and it didn't work. Matthews sends it in over the line. Worked into the corner. Matthews takes his man to the boards. Well, let's just say, was that
Roman Josi?
Was it Carrier or Josi who had the grasp on Matthew's stick for about 3 or 4 steamboats?
Well, it was Josi that was in front of the net that blocked the shot. And it's funny, Hal Gill, former Leaf, former Nashville Predator, who does color on the radio side for Nashville. We were talking to him before the game. He said there should be a separate category. One for block shots and one for accidentally blocking shots. And I think for Roman Josi, that was an accidental shot block because he was turned sideways and seemed to take it right in the rib cage area.
Alex Carrier is the one that had the stick, well, one stick in one hand and the Leaf stick in the other, and no holding penalty was called.
I mean, they have let a lot go, and a couple of trips.
Matthews wins the draw, and a point shot taken there was blocked as Myers got it away. He easily has the hardest point shot on the Leaf defense corps.
Yeah, when you can tell from our vantage point that it's hard and heavy. And, we've seen that with Austin Matthews throughout his career. There's some guys that hammer the puck, and you just feel like there's this vapor trail behind it.
And Al McInnes was probably the best at that, wasn't he? Boy, he could shoot.
You remember and the video goes around on social media every now and then, a one-timer against the LA Kings and Kelly Rudy. Al McInnes put it over the net and shattered the glass. You're thinking, thank God. Or
didn't hit me.
Kelly Rudy.
Yes. Along the boards, Marner getting it freed up. A pass, outlets to center. Benoit in on the left wing. Couldn't get around Luke Shen. The puck is pushed in back of the goal. Lorenz couldn't get to it. And now the Predators will regroup, and Shen banks it off the boards off a stick to center. It bounces to the Leaf blue line. Delayed offside called by the linesman. Leafs punch it ahead, and it deflects down on a bounce in on UC Saros. Leafs into the forecheck. Robertson can't reach it, and out come the Predators at center ice. Wheeling through neutral ice, Svechkov trying to break through the defense, and it was knocked away at the last second. Into the corner, Svechkov frees it up. Puck in front of the net. Dewar, a nice play to clear it away from harm's way in the slot. Now the Leafs with the puck in the corner, and a long lead pass looking for Reeds. He couldn't knock it down and play his whistle down. I want to give you an example. Talking with Andy Bathgate, one of the greats of all time, and he said to me, on penalty of death, you have to shoot the puck as hard as you can. What hand would you use if you could just only use one hand, cut the stick down to any length that you wanted? I said, well, my right hand is my dominant hand. I would shoot with my right hand. He said, well, which way do you shoot? I said, I have my left hand down at the bottom and stick my right hand at the top. So why would you do that? Why would you do that? And you watch most of the guys who can really shoot the puck, their dominant hand is at the bottom of their stick. And I said, you know what? You're right. Except, you know what happens? You play mini sticks when you're a kid. You grab a little stick, and what do? You play with your dominant hand, and then they make the stick longer, and what do? You keep that up at the top, and you put your not-so-dominant hand at the bottom of the stick. Remember that. That's why my grandson, Brody, has a stick in his hand, and his dominant hand is taped to the bottom of the stick. He's 2 months.
We will create the perfect hockey player.
Yes. Somewhere there's a guy driving along with his kid going, Now there's a good idea. Here's the pass in front for the Leafs. They can't get a shot away. It comes back to Riley at the blue line. Walking the line, Marner. Marner into the slot. Off on the wing for Myers. Myers goes around back of the net. Myers gets it back to the point to Riley. He's got Marner available, takes the pass. Marner down low. Pass into the slot. Riley, a shot right on. That was stopped by Saros. Riley with the rebound in the near corner. Getting it back, it goes to Tavares. Tavares with some room now. Tavares dropping it off for Marner. Marner with a pass to the left wing side. Myers couldn't shoot it. He centers, and a backhand is blocked and then sent out and down the ice by Nashville. So the Leafs are going to get an icing and a bit of a tired group out there for the Predators with a face-off in Nashville territory.
Nashville has been pretty good, though, at keeping everything to the outside. Now, the Leafs have had some puck possession time, but nothing really in tight on Saros so far. The best opportunity was the give and go between Holmberg and Mitch Marner in the opening period. That didn't even result in a shot on goal.
Actually, my grandson Brody, Derek already has things organized for him. He's started to kick field goals as a deflection goes into the corner. He's going to Notre Dame as a scholarship as a field goal kicker. He's 2 months old. Here's Tanev. Deflects it in off the stick of Nyes. Nyes down along the boards, trying to dig it free for Matthews. That's drawn a scrum in the corner. They're still at it. They're still at it. Now it's punched around the boards. It'll find Ekman Larsson. Back in on the slot area. Centering pass by Nylander was broken up. And out come the Predators with a pass across the line. Nyquist back to the point. Good shot blocked there by Matthews. Puck along the boards into the near boards. And back to the point. Kept in by the Predators. Shot blocked again in front of the net by the Leafs. Along the boards, O'Reilly getting it back of the net. Tanev ties up his man as it comes to the point. Walking the line, Shea gives it back on the left wing side for Nyquist. Nyquist with a pass in front. Back to Brady Shea. A wrist shot is easily caught by Wall, and that will stop play. The face-off coming in the Toronto zone when we return. 11:14 to play, second period. It's still 1-0 Nashville on a fluky goal in the first period. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. Gambling problem? Visit connexontario.ca.
Desjardins Insurance cares a lot about their clients. In fact, it's packed with such a ginormous amount of vast and substantial care that's bursting with even more whoppingly humongous and colossal care. You might be a little surprised when we tell you that all of that care fits in the palm of your hand. With the Desjardins Insurance mobile app, you'll get a big hand with 24/7 paper-free access to all of your home and auto policies, including your digital pink slip. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Holy Becca! 3 goals! He's tied the game!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Face-off coming in the Toronto zone. A 1-0 Nashville lead.
Nashville's been much better when it comes to the face-off dots. 61% of the draws they've won so far. Ross and Matthews will head out. Matthews has won just 4 of 12 to this point.
11:14 to go, and the Predators win this face-off again. Working it back along the boards. It comes to the point. Kept in there by Blankenberg. Into the corner now for Jankowski. Back to the point. It breaks free. Nylander trying to race after it but couldn't reach it. Now Matthews is going to shoot the puck in. Nyes down the left wing boards. Chips it high. And it's gone too high. It's ended up into the screen. And a face-off coming in the Nashville zone. To the right of UC Saros. And a fan just over the board just got himself a nice souvenir.
Ryan O'Reilly is, up until this shift, has only played 7 minutes and 46 seconds. And face-off totals now, I think that pulled him even at 2-2.
Draw one by the Leafs. A pass into the slot doesn't work, and it's pushed out into the center ice area. And the Leafs' Timmins goes back to retrieve it. Benoit played it ahead. Unable to get it freely was Lorenz. He'll force Shen back into his own zone. Predators get it out into neutral ice. An errant pass, but Sissons is going to catch up to it and pump it in around back of the Toronto goal. Timmins makes a nice outlet pass, and Fraser Minton gets it to center, and Lorenz sends it into the corner for him. Minton hustling in there after it. Took a hit there from Shen, and the puck comes free on the left wing, and Nashville is out at center. Smith playing it down into the Toronto zone. Round back of the net for Myers. Myers puts the brakes on to elude the forecheck. Got it up on the right side for Riley, who gets it into neutral ice, but Minton couldn't get it into the zone for him. Now O'Reilly in on the wing, and a wrist shot taken by Forsberg was high over top of the net. He had room on that top corner but missed it. Forsberg centering pass intercepted by Marner. Pass up on the wing is kicked ahead nicely by Riley, but he's in a Lone Ranger rush and at the end of a shift, so he dumps it in. Now back the other way comes Roman Josi. Josi in across the line, dropping it for Riley. O'Reilly couldn't come up with it. Leafs are able to play it off the boards for Tavares, and Tavares breaks it out at center. He'll look up on the left wing and spots his man. Brought in by Timmins with a shot. That was kicked away by the goalkeeper. Marner into the forecheck. It's punched around back of the net. And on the left wing side, now Roman Josi will get it out at center. Intercepted there by Pontus Holmberg. Leafs will counter. Brought to the line and in. Chipped in now by Reeves. Reeves into the corner for Pontus Holmberg. Holmberg trying to kick it along the boards to Reeves. But the Predators come up with it. And it's back out into neutral ice. Thomas Novak couldn't get it into the Leafs zone cleanly. And Toronto will ship it right back down into Nashville territory. Predators playing it up on the left wing. Brought to center ice by Thomas Novak. Novak ran into a hit there from Timmins. The Leafs come out with the puck. And it's been a little of a, if you're a tennis match, some easy volleys back and forth across the net. Neither team has gone for the strike and get the point. Not that I've ever played tennis. Brought back the other way now by the Leafs. Dewar belted there and taken down on a hefty hit by Adam Wilsby. And out come the Predators to center ice. And then returning the favor was Dewar at the other side. And the puck's gone out of play, and that's drawn a crowd around the Toronto bench.
That was Ryan Reeves on the ice.
And Grabenkin, and everything settles down rather quickly. Yeah.
That's kind of the, oh, it's you.
Yes.
Conversation. So a commercial break, and the Leafs showing some signs of frustration here. Not generating many scoring opportunities.
1-0 Nashville. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and by downloading the SiriusXM app, you can enjoy a gift bag full of holiday channels just waiting to be opened. Shake the tinsel right off the tree with Jolly Christmas. Happy holidays. Let your children take control of the sleigh with Kids Christmas. Timeless classics with holiday traditions. There are dozens of festive channels to choose from. Just download the SiriusXM app and search holiday.
Hey, hockey fans. It's Wednesday night. It's the Nashville Predators visiting our Leafs at Scotiabank Arena in downtown Toronto. Where are you watching this from right now? Let us know in the chat. It's that time of the night. Let us know where you're watching from. Toronto, maybe out in the suburbs, out in Lake Country? Are you out in the rest of Canada? Let us know your city and province. If you're down in the USA, give us your city and state. I'm in the USA. I'll admit it. I'm a transplant. But go Leafs, go. Thank you for being here and having fun with us and letting us know how far out the reach is on game night when we all hang out together and change the world, one insider at a time. Now let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go. Let's beat the Predators. Let's take them out.
NHL Network Radio,
Sirius XM 91,
and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favorite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
Radio Network.
Second period is brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that is really big on care. And the Leafs would like to care a little more about the score. It's 1-0 Nashville. On a fluky goal in the first period. But has there been a legitimate scoring opportunity for either team? No. Second period? Here the Predators losing the puck in the defensive zone, or in the offensive zone rather, and Nylander will play it up on the wing, and it's carried to center, and Myers shoots it in. Nylander taken down, is slow to get up. Now the puck comes back to the Toronto zone, and it is Morgan Rielly in front of his own goal, banking it ahead for Nyes. A bad pass there, turned over again. Shot back in again by Marchessault. Right wing side, drop pass. Marchessault trying to get a shot away, sends it back to Luke Schenn. Schenn works to the right wing boards. His pass was blocked, and the Leafs are outletting now to Nylander, and he just flips it into the offensive end and remains out there. Thought he might go for a change, but didn't happen. Now here's a pass into the slot, broken up and cleared back out at center by Toronto. Now Nylander to the bench. Off the boards, O'Reilly sends it down into the corner for Philip Forsberg. Forsberg taken wide by Tanev. Tanev couldn't get it away from O'Reilly. It comes back to the point, and a shot deflects in front of the Leaf goal, played up on the wing, and Marner just gets it out at center before it's shot right back in again. Joseph Woll plays into the corner. Bank pass at center for Tavares, who is belted from behind, nose first into the boards. Puck comes back into the center ice area. Drop pass now, driving the net. Cole Smith kind of get a shot away, goes around, wrap around to tap, down his wall, and he's got the oven mitts on it, and then just pushes himself a little further away from that goal line just to make sure everything is copacetic.
And there are some times when you can hide it from all the cameras.
That's a good instance.
Yes.
It's under me somewhere,
under the goal line.
I'm just going to move over here.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yes, in the blue paint.
Yeah, and we're seeing about 3 different angles right now. So hurry up and drop the puck.
Yep. Pass ahead at center. Nashville plays it back in on Cole Smith's backhand. Timmins tries the near side. Chip to the line, but not out. Another shot in traffic, deflected down and wide of the Leaf goal. Puck is around back of the net. And up on the wing it goes for Robertson. Robertson got it into the slot, but lost it there. Centering pass comes out in front of the net. Oh, and a good scoring chance there for Cole Smith, but it never reached the goal. It was blocked again in front of the net by Connor Timmins. Centering pass goes high over top now into the near corner. Good pressure here from Nashville, but the Leafs break it up, and Timmins outlets to center. Robertson will flip it into the left wing corner. Minton after the puck. Robertson trying to help out. Minton can't come up with it. Far side for Evangelista of the Predators, and he outlets to center. And Roman Josi sends it down into the Toronto end to allow a change. Bank pass to center. Brought on now by Dewar. Connor Dewar in on the left wing. Works into the front of the net. Grebenkin going into the corner.
That puck may have come up and caught the Nashville.
That Evangelista? It's either Evangelista or Jankowski, 17 or 77, I think.
I think it's 37 maybe, Joey.
Well, there was a 7 there somewhere. Yeah, you're right. Very good, Blankenberg, yep.
Yeah, I think that just ramped up off his stick. Caught him on the side of the head. And I know you and I mentioned this when Jake McCabe took that shot to the back of the head in Tampa. It is amazing. It doesn't happen more often because everybody comes out with their stick to try to block it.
Yep.
And it ramps up and is
nowhere.
Ends up head high more often than not.
Breaking the action, still 1-0 Nashville. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with an estimated range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew will love it too. Huh, maybe it should be called the Civic 2.0.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. The one that's hanging out with us, listening to the hockey game tonight, the Leafs and the Predators, coming at you on a beautiful Wednesday evening. Please hit that subscribe button and help us keep growing this amazing community. We just passed 62,000 insiders. Subscribers, we call them insiders here because you, just by joining us and chatting it up, you're an insider hanging out with us. So thank you to all 62,000 plus insiders who are here hanging out with us right now and the ones that aren't. Cheers to that. Now let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go. Let's get the W tonight. We need to beat Nashville and just keep on rolling. The train is rolling. Let's keep it going. Go Leafs, go. Go Leafs, go.
Your home and auto policies, including your digital pink slip. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
John Tavares set up by Willie. The Leafs win it in overtime.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
A Fluky goal at 5:26 of the first period has stood the test of time. 1-0. Nashville. Puck in the center ice zone. Predators will send it off a skate and into the Leaf end. Ekman-Larsson on the boards for Riley. Got it ahead at center. Now Matthews works in over the line. Into the slot area. Kicking it ahead but couldn't get a shot away. Cleared off a stick high to center ice. And the high stick making contact will stop play. And it'll be back into Nashville territory as a result.
4:46 to go here in the second period to show you how wide open things have been.
Yes.
The Leafs are out shooting Nashville here in the second period.
How much?
6-2.
Dominant. Problem is I can't remember any of the 6 shots.
Or the 2. Yeah, I just kind of get the feeling that the Leafs, they're starting to get too big a gap between the defense and forwards. Trying to catch Nashville, with a long stretch pass and an odd man rush, and Nashville's not buying it.
A shot by Benoit was kicked away by Saros' left pad. Puck along the boards and back of the net. Nylander trying to come up with it. Tavares tries to help out. The puck did come in front, but the Predators get it out at center. Brought on now by Roman Josi. Josi has it taken away by Connor Timmins. And Timmins turns with space in the defensive zone to find Nylander. Nylander coming through the zone in over the line. Works to the right wing side and pumps it around for Pontus Holmberg. Holmberg completely fans on the pass, and it's out at center ice. And Pontus Holmberg is just having a dreadful evening.
Yeah, when those little plays seem impossible to make, right?
Yeah. Puck along the boards in the Toronto zone. Into the slot area. No shot yet, and then when it did, it was off the mark wide. Nylander unable to get it out. Kept alive now by Forsberg. Over on the right wing side, and the pass goes low. It comes back to the half boards. Kept alive by Schenn. Out back to the point once more. Smith trying to get a shot away. Drops it off for Forsberg. Forsberg has his shot blocked. And it is Matthews outletting now for Chris Tanev. He gets to center, needs to get a change, sends it into the offensive zone. Nashville regrouping back in their own end. Forward-checking Marner almost stole the puck. Then Riley does. Got it around back in the net for Matthews. He tried to sweep it around from behind the goal line, but it rolled off the toe of his stick and went harmlessly wide. Shot back into Nashville territory. Pounded off the boards, but not out. Riley is able to keep it alive along the wall. Marchessault tries to get it ahead, and Jankowski will get it out for Nashville and play it down into Toronto territory. Jankowski lost it there to Nyes. Nyes got it to the line, but not out. Round back of the net it goes. Puck along the boards for Stamkos. Got it back to the point. That got past the defenseman, and it'll force Wilsby back into his own end. Now up on the right side for Jankowski. Jankowski looking for Stamkos in front of the net. Turnover. Brought back the other way by Robertson. Robertson on the right wing. Got across the line. Stood up. Ran into traffic. Lost the puck. Cleared back out at center ice. Timmins will take it away for Toronto. Benoit up ahead. Backhand doesn't work. Cross the line now for Lorenz. He gets it down into the corner and around back of the goal. Luke Shen with it now. Playing it off the boards through center ice. Svechnikov getting it across the line, dropping it back in the slot, and a wrist shot was wired over top of the Leaf goal. Novak along the left wing boards tries to get it in front. Timmins is able to come away with it. Finds his defense partner Benoit, and they return the favor. And Timmins with some room got it ahead, and out at center ice comes Fraser Minton across the line. Rolled it to the side of the goal. This is the kind of game that the Leafs usually did not win in previous outings. Low scoring, low chance, muck and grind. Well, we're going to find out how things work out here, but this is the kind of game that they have played a lot more this year than in previous seasons. Tanner, far corner, back of the net and around the boards for Reeves. He can't kick the puck out. Around back of the net it goes for Leroux. Leroux coming out. Onto the left wing side it goes. Roman Josi with it now. Roman Josi in the slot, dropping it back. There's a shot, deflected right on. Big save made by Wall. Wall scrambling to get his stick and get back into position, and he does. Best save he's made. Less than a minute in the period.
I want to circle that if the Leafs are able to come back.
Played to the line, but not out. Josi gives the puck away, but Grabenkin doesn't get it out. Fourth line struggling here in the Leaf zone. Tanev gets it back. Leafs getting a chance to get a change started. And Tanev comes to center as the puck is deflected to the line, but not in. Holmberg against the boards, and Tanev comes away with it. Tavares has it deflect down into Nashville territory. 13 seconds left in the period. Tavares picking the puck back of the net. Tavares trying to chip it back to the point. On the wing, a shot blocked. Tavares in front. Got a shot away. It was blocked. 1 second left. Nylander with a shot. And it goes over top of the net and wide. And so, the fluky goal by Marchessault has stood the test of time over 40 minutes.
What's that old line? Ugly enough to be a winner?
Yes, I suppose that's a very good saying.
Let's hope that it ain't.
No.
But I don't think you get any uglier either.
No, you're right about that.
A shot that there was a shoot in that went off the glass behind the net, up over the crossbar, landed in the blue paint with Joseph Wall frantically searching for it before Marchessault raced in, and the one that shot it in was the one that put it away, and that's the difference.
Well, the shots on goal in the second period were 6-3, 19-12 after 2 periods of play favoring Toronto. We'll step aside. Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert coming your way. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The hot stove is heating up, and MLB Network Radio is your ultimate destination for wall-to-wall coverage of the winter meetings in Dallas. It may be more exciting than the World Series. Beginning Sunday, join our team of insiders and analysts as we bring you exclusive interviews and live updates straight from the heart of the action. Catch all the deals, storylines, and decisions shaping the 2025 season only on MLB Network Radio, Channel 89, and the Sirius XM app.
Another shot, red and black. Another chance. Game over. Bless you, boys. What a
out the link and bringing more hockey fans to our awesome community here on TSI. And let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! Let's tear them up.
Game on his stick. Scores! Changing the world, one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, go Leafs, go.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Sirius XM 91.
And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
The only two players in the history of the National Hockey League to have 600 goals, 1,600 points, 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 Conn Smythes. Wayne and Sid. Just like it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Sirius XM 91.
And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio. Brian Burke.
I didn't like Nashville. I don't like the composition. I told you they had too many violins and not enough cellos. So to me, the anticipation was out of line, misplaced. So how do you fix it? I think you got to get back to the very basics. Change the way you play, change your style of play. It's the only thing you can do. You can't change the personnel much.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now, with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scored the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Leafs Radio Network.
Welcome back to Mostly Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert. If you dozed off during that period, we don't blame you. That was a snooze fest.
Yeah, if the goal for the Predators was to drag this deep into the mud, priority 1 achieved for the Nashville Predators. Yeah, this is an ugly game. It's an ugly game so far, certainly for the Maple Leafs, maybe less so for the Nashville Predators, but almost nothing to write home about in that period. Excuse me. I'm convinced, like, if this is a simulation and let's say this game could be played over 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, whatever you want to say. It only starts once with that Marchessault goal. And I'm convinced the Marchessault has afflicted this game in ways that we can't really imagine because it shouldn't have started that way. It was very, very fortunate and very, very misfortunate at the exact same time. And it just feels like it put the game in a weird game state that the Leafs certainly aren't happy with, but maybe Nashville will take.
Definitely a quiet, sleepy game. I mean, this is low event hockey, and we've been talking about how Craig Berube's style is low event hockey, but, you know, it'd also be nice to see some events happen.
Events are nice.
I would love to see an event.
Events.
I would love to attend an event. I'd love to see one in the third period. You got a team full of superstars. You got a couple guys just named to the Four Nation roster. 3 of your core 4 will be there. Marner, Matthews, Nylander. I just, expected a little bit more jump. You're playing against a team that is 7-12-6. They are 31st in the NHL in terms of point percentage. They can't score goals. You know that. They have NHL low of 58 goals this season. And they're on their own losing streak. 3 straight losses in overtime, which has got to be just the worst. Like, you almost want to lose in regulation at that point. You're getting to overtime, you're losing. You're getting to overtime, you're losing. And, I mean, they just don't have a lot of positivity around that team. You thought that the Leafs would come in with a little extra jump playing at home to kind of put this out of reach, but now they're going in the third period down a goal.
Yeah, the worst for the Predators, these 3 straight losses, but also the best stretch of hockey maybe of the season for them at the same time, accumulating 3 points in as many games. I think this might be just kind of the unfortunate byproduct of the Craig Berube system, where sometimes it's going to look really blah. And that's just because they're not going to overextend. They're not going to chase, especially in a second period when they're only trailing 1 goal. Maybe in a Sheldon Keefe world, there's just a little bit more tempo. There's just a little bit more oomph. There's a little bit more of a willingness to take a few more chances. And Craig Berube wants them to stay within themselves pretty much at all times. And only when they're, facing the 1-goal deficit, perhaps really late in this game, will they step outside of that, pull a goaltender, and really chase it. It feels like they're trying to stay within themselves, and that is definitely a good strategy 90% of the time. But sometimes sometimes you need a little bit more. On a night like tonight, it needs a little more because this is kind of just a drag and dragging rather than a competitive high-event hockey game.
Not to put it on anyone in particular, but this would be a good time for that Grabenkin, Dewar line to spark a little magic. There was a moment there where Dewar knocked out, Blankenship?
Knocked down.
Knocked down Blankenship?
Consciousness remained for Blankenship.
Blankenberg.
Blankenberg.
Damn.
I believe Blankenship is a Eagles linebacker?
Yeah, that's a person for sure.
I think it's an Eagles linebacker.
Yeah, Reed Blankenship, right?
Safety. I'm hearing safety from our guy Austin Mackey behind the glass.
All right, so anywho, and there's a little bit of scrum, a little bit of energy there, but we need some energy for this team. And I'm loving Grabenkin individually. He's got this energy around him, and I'm loving Reeves being back in the lineup. So maybe that fourth line gets a couple shifts early in the third to add some energy, but you also need to score a goal. So it's like a weird dynamic. You can't be expecting them to be the ones to elevate when your goal scorers need to be ones to put the puck in the net.
Yeah, it was a big hit from Connor Dewar, and it looked like people were like a bit agitated in the moment, and then Ryan Reeves showed up and everyone started looking the other way, which I guess is like it's saying something about the Ryan Reeves effect, but also saying something about Ryan Reeves's impact and his ability to actually show the full extent of his repertoire and his skill set, because part of that is being physical and challenging guys. And when everyone wants to look the other way, well, Ryan Reeves, I guess, had them look the other way, but maybe there's not the full extent again of what he can offer.
Well, then, when Ryan Reeves goes in the media after sitting 5 games and says, I do go out there to inflict pain. That's a fact. That's not going to stop, but going to continue to do it legally. I'm going to keep playing hard, if not harder, and keep burying guys. Then maybe you're not looking forward to getting in a scrum with Ryan Reeves.
I mean, I haven't really seen him bury anyone all year.
Yeah, he hasn't fought anyone all year.
Yeah, and like the big hits are in shortish supply.
Darnell Nurse
the biggest one got him suspended for 5 games.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll take a break.
That's what happens when it's a fairly meaningless second period. You end up talking about Ryan Reeves' role in the NHL these days.
We'll come up with something. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll at least give you the out-of-town scoreboard and a couple more thoughts before we send it to the third. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The scrape of blades, the clash of sticks. Hockey's more than a game. It's unrelenting, never-give-up moments that make you feel alive. And so you commit to the weekly ups and downs, the long road to the playoffs. You wear your heart on your sleeve and your jersey with pride. And when you're there for your team, the NHL Shop is there for you. Check out the largest selection of official NHL gear at nhlshop.ca, a Fanatics experience.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with an estimated range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew will love it too. Maybe it should be called the Civic 2.0. Redefine your drive with the 2025 Civic Hybrid. Visit your Ontario Honda dealer and test drive yours today.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists? The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With with customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Desjardins Insurance cares a lot about their clients. In fact, it's packed with such a ginormous amount of vast and substantial care that's bursting with even more whoppingly humongous and colossal care. You might be a little surprised when we tell you that all of that care fits in the palm of your hand. With the Desjardins Insurance mobile app, you'll get a big hand with 24/7 paper-free access to all of your home and auto policies, including your digital pink slip. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care.
The Subaru winter has arrived. The crisp air and negative temperatures mean one thing: camping. Emerge from your icy tent and bask in 4 to 6 hours of sunlight. Enjoy the unmistakable smell of campfire through the glacial wind pummeling your face. Relax by the water, taking in the soothing sounds of thick ice cracking and popping. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Your holiday bonus awaits. Visit your local Subaru dealer for details.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Nice has tied the game, but a brilliant play by Max Domi
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. 1-0 for the Predators after 40 minutes on a super duper, never to be repeated goal by Jonathan Marchessault. And that's it,
Super
folks.
duper, right?
It was super duper. So
I think it falls just slightly short of that distinction personally.
it was,
but it was
something great.
It was quite distinct.
Let's take a look at the NHL scoreboard presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit connexontario.ca.
More things seem to be happening in Chicago than they are in Toronto. The Bruins have a 3-2 lead over the Blackhawks. Brad Marchand has 2 goals on TNT while TNT called him out. And if you haven't seen that video, you should definitely get on social media and find it, and it won't take long, I promise. So it's 3-2 Bruins over the Blackhawks right now. End of second, and still to come tonight, Stars and Kings, Golden Knights, and Ducks, a light night in the NHL.
All right, so 20 minutes for the Maple Leafs here to get themselves in the game. Very low event so far, that second period. Didn't produce a lot on either end. So far, the score, just a 1-0 lead on a goal that, you never see again. So I think you just clean the slate and hopefully your big guys come to play. This is kind of the moneymaker period, right? A couple of you named the Four Nations rosters. Time to show yourself.
Sure, let's see it. Let's see a little bit more in the event category, but also if we're grasping at a silver lining, yet another quality start here. At least so far for this Maple Leaf goaltending tandem of Joseph Woll and Anthony Stolarz. Hasn't been the busiest night for Woll. But again, you're just so comfortable.
Sometimes that's even harder
with what's going on
when
back
it's
there.
just a sleepy game and you got to stay in and you're not getting lots of shots. So he was my player to watch. Let's see if he can keep it up. He's got 5 straight wins and was playing pretty great before this. All right, so this is it. We'll send it to Jim Ralph and Joe Bowen, who have the call of the third period next. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It's College Football Conference Championship Week, and you can hear all the games on SiriusXM.
10-5, touchdown Oregon.
It's the final stop on the road to the 12-team college football playoff.
Caught on a spinning move in the end zone, touchdown Georgia.
Find your school's game at SiriusXM.com/college football.
Boise State is going to get a kick return for a touchdown.
And get ready for game day on College Sports Radio, Channel 84 in the car, and on the SiriusXM app. The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on SiriusXM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91. And on demand with the SiriusXM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on SiriusXM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now, with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Yeah, you, the one that's hanging out with us. Listen to the hockey game tonight. What's up, hockey fans? Thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out with us during the Leafs game tonight. And I just wanted to say thank you. I'm back. I'm feeling much better. I was down for about 16 to 18 hours, and now I'm back feeling good. So I appreciate everybody. The last game understanding while I was playing the recorded messages from Saturday night's game. That we're done with that now. Tonight, I'm sitting at soccer practice, though, because I'm a busy dad of 4, living the dream. So my people are running it tonight from home, and I'll be in the chat hanging out with you guys. So any super chats, anything like that, we'll let the list run. I'll update that as we go because I'll be listening to the game right there at practice. We'll see you guys back in the chat. Go Leafs, go!
A fluky goal by Jonathan Marchessault. His 5th from Yossi at 5:26 of the first is all that's on the board. Puck is knocked in over the line, but Ryan O'Reilly sends it back out into neutral ice. Forsberg sends it into the Leafs zone, but the Leafs have it under control in their own territory, and a pass off Matthews' skate comes to center. Matthews will flip it high, but not deep into the zone. Poked free by Matthews. Centering effort by Marner didn't work. Back of the net, Matthews can't get to it, but Riley is pinched to keep it in. Now centering pass, they score! What a brilliant play! Morgan Riley keeps it in, and Mitch Marner gets lost in behind the net. And it is a wicked pass in front, and Austin Matthews has tied the game.
Cue this as another video game goal. Ring it around the boards hard, and then the touch pass by Mitch Marner. It goes around the net behind Saros to Mitch Marner in the far corner, the left wing corner. And he just one-touch passes it out front to Matthews, who finally finds some space in front of UC Saros. And from just above the top of the crease, the quick snap. Walker's side ties the game at 1.
And the Leafs have it again as Pontus Holmberg got to the line. Brought in, and I thought it was offside, and the linesman kind of gave it.
He thought about it.
Not really. Yeah, I think so. And Ant was right blowing it down. But so it'll be Marner and Riley assisting on the 7th goal of the season for Austin Matthews.
And for Mitch Marner now, that's going to extend this current point streak to 8 games. And points now in 16 of the last 17 that he has played.
Matthews has scored in back-to-back games. Again, you play a tight, low-chance, low-scoring game, and you hope that your snipers are the difference in the game. Well, they've tied it here with the best sniper in the National Hockey League. Puck in the center ice area, and Tavares turns with it. He's in across the line with Fraser Minton, who takes the shot. Juggled, but gloved by Saros, and that'll bring a face-off in the Nashville zone.
Now, you mentioned that Pontus Holmberg has kind of had a tough night handling the puck, making plays. Well, we just saw where Fraser Minton has now come out, and he joined John Tavares and Willie Nylander. And, of course, we saw Matthews on with Mitch Marner. So, I guess from the standpoint of Craig Berube, it's...
Enough's enough?
Yep, time to juggle things up. And it certainly paid off early here in the 3rd period.
Now, here's a decision. Connor Dewar's been waved out of the face-off circle. Reeves and Grebenkin are arguing about who's going to take the draw. And Grebenkin took it and lost it. Really? You want me? No. Here, the Predators in with a shot. That was just wide on the far side. Another shot deflects to the side of the goal. Blockered away there by Wall. And now Reeves just flips the puck through center, and it's going to roll down on goal. And that'll force Saros to cover up on it and bring a face-off in the offensive zone and an immediate change of players by the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Well, before Austin Matthews abruptly interrupted what I was about to say. The Nashville Predators, this was only the 6th time this season that they've taken a lead into the 3rd period. 4-0-1 in the previous 5.
Well, the draw to the right, won by Nashville. Sissons got it through center, blocked and sent to the blue line. Matthews sent it in over the line, but cleared quickly back out into neutral ice. And the Leafs go back with Connor Timmins reversing the puck to Morgan Riley. Riley with a pass up off of Nyes onto the end glass. A centering pass by Nyes was blocked. Marner with it again, centers, goes off a stick, and Matthews trying to track it down. Kept it in, but Marner couldn't get it in deeper. Now Nashville bringing it back at center. Working in on the right side. Carrier had it knocked away. Marner's away on the left wing. Matthews trailing. Marner drops for Matthews. Makes a move and scores! Holy mackerel, what a play! Austin Matthews has the Leafs in front. 2-1.
Craig Berube might be sold on this combination. It's a 2-on-2 rush down the left wing boards into the Nashville zone. Matthews hangs back, a little drop pass from Marner, and then Matthews walks around his man, and I think it kind of rolls off the toe of his stick and just through the pads of Saros, who I think, Joe, tried to poke check it and missed it, and that's why that space opened up. But the man back, it was Gustav Nyquist, the forward, that was back trying to play defense, and Matthews walked through him. And they're going to call this tripping penalty.
Luke Shen get tripped.
Leaf fans are booing because there have been a number, and I don't even know if, I think he might have been on the way down even before Simon Benoit. Well, maybe skate on skate. Took the Nashville player down, but the Leafs with 2 quick goals now. Oh no, was it a stick? Yeah, Andrew has given me the, it was almost a can opener by Simon Benoit.
Penalty kill brought to you by our Ontario Honda dealer. Up your game, lease the CRV from 2.99% up to 28 months. Visit HondaOntario.com. Leafs win the face-off, and they send the puck out and down the ice. Benoit for tripping, second power play of the game for Nashville. Forsberg comes through center ice. Got it in on the left wing. Stamkos up against the boards, loses it. Leafs are able to play it out at center, and it's played down into the offensive zone, and there's a penalty coming here, I believe, to Stamkos for tripping Marner over on the far side. So that ends the power play.
And there was still 1:32 left in the penalty to Simon Benoit, so 4-on-4 barring any further penalties. 4-on-4 for a minute 32. And the Leafs could end up with a brief 28-second power play at the end of that. Coming into this game, and what they acquire in the offseason, the Nashville Predators, Steven Stamkos, the all-time points leader in the history of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Jonathan Marchessault, the all-time point leader, former Conn Smythe Trophy winner for the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Centering pass, Tavares in front of the goal. Oh, and a great save with the glove by Saros. Timmins was there. I don't know as he got all of it, though.
No, it seemed to flutter just a bit. But where you give Saros credit, Joe, that pass goes from his right to his left, and he's on his way out. He's not hugging the goal line. He's coming out being very aggressive and is able to snag the Timmins opportunity.
4-on-4 here for minute 18 as the Predators get it down into the Leaf zone. Forced wide was Nyquist. Nyquist back of the net, has it get by him. Puck to the near side. And Robertson is able to free it up, and now it's Nylander bringing it to center. Left wing side, Tavares shooting, and it's blockered away by goaltender Saros up into the screen, out of play.
Well, Saros might have got a piece of this, and then the post showing.
Yeah, the crowd was reacting that it.
Yeah, like it. I don't know if it caught maybe the knob of the stick of Saros, and then the crossbar, but John Tavares saw a little room over the right shoulder. Right where the crossbar and goalpost meet. No, right off the crossbar. Wow, there's slow motion angle. The Leafs very nearly explode for 3 here early in the second period, but still have a 2-1 lead.
Draw won by Nashville. They've dominated the face-off circle, but the Leafs have scored twice in about a 2-minute span to give the Leafs a 2-1 lead. Austin Matthews has both of them. Flipped in off the glass and around back of the net in the Toronto zone. Played up on the boards but not out. Myers and Ekman-Larsson battling for it. The puck comes free. Marner goes to the far boards, and Tanev has lots of skating room as he looks and then decides to circle back because the Leafs are going to go to the power play here in 20 seconds time. Now here's Ekman-Larsson gaining the line and getting it in now for Marner. Marner looking back for Matthews, stole the puck back, tried to center, he does, and a shot knocked down off the stick of Riley. And is there another penalty coming?
Again, it was Marner that got taken down. And was this Marchessault that took him?
And so the Leafs are going to get a 2-man advantage in 8 seconds time of 28 seconds in duration.
So the Leafs come into this period down a goal. Mitch Marner sets up 2 and then draws 2 penalties.
4:34 the time of the penalty. And it is Marchessault who's in the box. The draw won by Toronto. Nylander walking the line. 4-on-3 here. Pass back out of the box. The Leafs getting an extra forward on now. And it is Nyes as it comes off the boards to the near side. Marner working the line, got it back to the point to Nylander, closing to the right wing side. And the one-timer by Matthews was drilled and kept in now by Marner. Marner to the left wing side, down low, Nyes centers, they score! Nylander on a beautiful pass by Nyes. And the Leafs have scored 3 and will go to the power play again.
As you were saying,
yes,
these tight games, you hope to keep things close, and eventually the big boys come out to play. Well, the bell rang about 5 minutes and 6 seconds ago, and the big kids have taken a 3-1 lead, and as you said, still a minute 28 to go on the second penalty. The Leafs just did on the 5-on-3 find the back of the net with 4 seconds left in the first penalty. And Marner's going to pick up another assist as well as Matthew Nyes. For Marner, this will be 29 points now in his last 17 games.
Now he has it again. Marner coming through center. Drops the puck back for Matthews. Matthews to the line on the left wing for Nyes. Nyes ringing the boards with it. Tavares is not going to get to it. And it's out into the center ice area.
Assisted by number 23, Matthew.
Marner coming through center. Leafs on the power play again. Into the corner for Nyes. Into the slot for Nylander. Tried to find his man. And the puck is pushed out at center ice. And now here's Marner in across the line again. For Nylander, a centering pass. Oh, he had Nyes going down the slot. but it was blocked. Then Marner loses the puck, and now Colton Sissons has a break. Nylander getting back. Sissons in. Stops. Saved by Wall as Sissons crashes into the net. And now we've got a scrum going on back of the goal after Wall was jammed at.
I don't think it was the initial contact that the Leafs were upset with.
It's LaRue who came in after the fact.
Yeah, it was the second man that came in and made contact with Joseph Wall, but the Leafs fortunate.
Wall made a great save on this.
But see, this is when, I know you said you're not a big fan of the 5 forwards. I think it might be, for me, if you're going to do it, situational. If you're down a goal or two and you feel like you got to roll the dice a little more.
Yeah,
I've always been a little more
much differently. Yep. You don't have the panic threshold.
Yeah.
If there isn't.
And I mean, I understand you want if you want Matthew Nyes in front of the net, and Nyes had the great setup to Nylander, who comes off? You know, if Nyes is out, then which of the other big 4 come off the ice? And Craig Berube, I know, said that Willie Nylander likes 5 forward because he likes the extra ice time. He doesn't kill penalties.
Well, and he also stays on for the second unit. He plays. He doesn't kill penalties, but he's on for the full power play. As we get an offside.
Yeah. He's also pretty good. You know,
oh, really?
I hadn't noticed. To throw out. Yeah, he scored that last one.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, was that his first of the year?
No, for Willie. 16th. Yeah, 16th. And even for Nylander now, in his last 16 games, that's 11 goals and 20 points.
Face-off outside the Predators' blue line. A 1-0 Nashville lead has evaporated into a 3-1 Toronto advantage. Poked out at center ice. Jankowski gets it into the slot, and a wrist shot is knocked down by Wall, and he's able to find it and then throws it aside, and the Leafs get a 2-on-1 break going the other way. Extra defenseman comes on, though, for Nashville. They were in a change. Holmberg couldn't center. Holmberg on the line here with Minton and Robertson. As the puck comes ahead, and Stamkos is out at center ice trying to get in over the line, and that's knocked away. Played up on the left wing boards. It's going to deflect and go into the Nashville bench. And will be brought back into the center ice area.
By the way, coming into this game, the Leafs had lost 6 consecutive games when they had not scored in the first 40 minutes.
It is 3-1 Toronto here in the third. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
There is real advantage for teams that know how to play in the snow. Playoff runs have to go through cold weather.
When it happens in the NFL, we're reacting to it on SiriusXM NFL Radio.
Happy for Sam Darnold. They might be the most underrated 10-win team, but it's fun to watch them.
Get closer to the game with interviews with players, coaches, and executives.
Washington's outstanding rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels.
Well, it always feels great to get a win. We got to make plays. We got to be able to finish.
Nobody covers the game like SiriusXM NFL Radio, Channel 88.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Oh, hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
Hey, hockey fans. It's Wednesday night. It's the Nashville Predators visiting our Leafs at Scotiabank Arena in downtown Toronto. Where are you watching this from right now? Let us know in the chat. It's that time of the night. Let us know where you're watching from. Toronto, maybe out in the suburbs, out in Lake Country. Are you out in the rest of Canada? Let us know your city and province. If you're down in the USA, give us your city and state. I'm in the USA. I'll admit it. I'm a transplant. But go Leafs, go. Thank you for being here and having fun with us and letting us know how far out the reach is on game night when we all hang out together and change the world, one insider at a time. Now let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go. Let's beat the Predators. Let's take them out.
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM
and the Leafs Radio Network.
The Leafs power play has been kind of hit and miss all season. They were dead last on percentage a while ago, but they're 8-1-1 when they have scored a power play goal this year. And they have one here tonight. Nashville gets the puck down into the offensive zone, rung around the boards by Evangelista. Josi gets it back to the point, long shot, blockered into the corner nicely by Wall. Down the boards now for Josi, trying to come back to the blue line on his backhand, forcing things wide. Josi to the near boards, and he's taken in there aggressively by Ryan Reeves. Puck back to the net. Dewar knocks it up on the boards, can't find an outlet, decides to pin it up against the wall. Puck comes free and back into the slot. Reeves outlets on the right wing side, and here's Lorenz in across the line. Dewar trying to get to the front of the net, but no call as he was dragged down. Wow.
Fourth line. yeah, you're right.
Mitch Marner gets the call.
Oh, yeah. Kept in at the point by Marner, and a shot ricocheted off a couple of bodies and went just wide. Yeah, that's right. Connor, you got to learn to skate better, son. You got to stay on your feet when you're being dragged down. Or
you got to move.
Yeah,
move up.
You got to move your feet there, son. Riley shoots the puck in for Toronto. Round on the far boards for Stamkos. He'll tip it out at center. Marchessault couldn't get away. Leafs will punch it right back in again. Nyes will get it down into the corner. Gets a pretty good hit in there, knocking Shea to the ice. And now Brady Shea will get it freed up, and then Nyes steps into him again. Here's Stamkos in across the line. Dropping for Marchessault, stolen by Marner. Marner comes back the other way to Matthews on left wing. He's got a pair. Matthews in, shooting, and that was stopped, and the rebound is controlled there by Saros. O'Reilly back the other way with a long shot that was blocked. The rebound is shot wide of the goal. It comes around on the near side, and Stamkos couldn't keep the puck in as it comes to center ice. Stamkos intercepts, pass off on the right side for Forsberg. Shot on goal, stopped on the short side. Wrap around attempt thwarted there by Tandem. Puck kept into the Toronto zone though. 10:57 to go in the third. Leafs up by a pair. Puck into the near corner, comes back to the point to Luke Schenn. Schenn drops it off. Forsberg tripped and fell and then makes a bad pass as it comes out over the line, and Schenn will pepper it right back in as Nashville changes. Pair by Matthews, single tally. Then by Willie Nylander on the power play. And the Leafs have a 3-1 lead. Brought in over the line by Svechkov. Got it in front, but Robertson intercepts, and he'll play it off a stick down into Nashville territory. Lorenz hustling after it. Almost stole the puck there as it's cleared to the line, but not out. Kept in by Myers. His shot deflected wide. Back of the net now, chasing after it, Lorenz. Near corner for Robertson. Robertson comes out of the scrum with it. Banks it back to the point. Far side for Myers, and his shot off a stick finds the screen with 9 minutes and 56 seconds to go in the third period. Toronto 3, Nashville 1. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Ah, at last, the Subaru winter is here. It's the perfect weather for the beach. Feel the sun's rays on the small amount of skin peeking out of your ski mask. Put on your beach puffer and hear the sound of the waves crashing over the chatter of your teeth. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Your holiday bonus awaits. Visit your local Subaru dealer for details.
Breaking news. Sign here. You subscribed, and good to see everybody in the chat tonight. Andrew Hurd, thank you for gifting that membership. We got Richard Fewer in the chat. Tate Brown, Brandy Gale, thank you for the super chat, Brandy. Brad Smith, Mackenzie Snook, Lisa Yellow, Nobody's Nerfic, Brad Smith, B-Man, Mark Daigle, and so on and so forth. Kathy Welton, welcome. Sandra Berube. All right, Joe's back on. We're going back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go. Let's finish this one real strong, boys. Let's get the win.
Rhoda did it 4 times. Joseph Wall has done it once. Now he's trying to do it a second time. Backhanded in over the line. Predators Schenn back in the near corner. Got it ahead. Tipped out at center ice by Colton Sissons and down into the Leaf zone. Myers taken to the boards. The puck comes free and a shot from a sharp angle. Wall has soldered that off. Boy, I love this. So Wall's got the puck. There are 3 Leaf defensemen pushing people back towards the hash marks and cleaning house.
Ryan Reeves had a hold of 2 of them. Colton Sissons being one. Remember how many highlights you can see of Dustin Byfuglien grabbing 2 guys and ragdoll at the same time?
He was
the funny thing, going back to the Wall stat about multi-win stretches, I mean, the other guys were number 1 goalies.
Yep.
And here, not saying Wall's not number 1, but his has come in rotating in and out with Anthony Stolarz.
But what a tandem, right? You take a look at their stat line. Stolarz, .924 save percentage. Wall, .923 coming into the game. I mean, that's you can't get it better than that.
No.
Brought to center ice now by Minton. Right wing side, Nylander. He stops up. Nylander's going to send it around back of the net. Minton let it go to Tavares. Tavares couldn't get it in front. Played back into the corner. Now Nylander got it along the boards but couldn't keep it in. And Marchessault gets it across the line, and a pass into the left wing boards area for Leroux didn't work, and the Leafs are going to play it out at center ice. Nashville sends it back into Toronto territory. Tanev getting it along the boards. Matthews couldn't help him out initially. Nye's trying to fight for a loose puck, and it's gobbled up by Marner, and he skates it out at center. Marner to the line, tried to play it in. Matthews had preceded him in there. It's a delayed offside. Nyes escapes now, but out come the Predators with a pass in on the left wing. Wrist shot towards the net, blockered away there by Wall. Puck comes free, banked off the glass by the Leafs through center ice, and chipping it away, the safety was Blankenberg for Nashville. In across the line, Leafs just dump it back out at center. 8:08 to play third period. The Leafs nursing a 2-goal lead, orchestrated with a 3-goal third period. Up on the right wing it goes. Benoit to center. Into the zone he sends it. Hustling in there after it to try and stir things up was Holmberg. Couldn't come up with the loose puck. A rink-wide feed to center, and Thomas Novak got it ahead on the left wing, and now Evangelista gets it into the Leafs zone, but the Leafs play it up on the right wing boards, get it to the line but not out. It deflects back down into the corner. Evangelista on the near side, back to the point. Carrier D to D on the far side, a shot kicked away by Joseph Wall. And an errant pass comes all the way down into Nashville territory. Carrier is back.
Nashville, like we saw with Chicago on Monday night. Nashville with a push here in the third period, a little over 7 minutes to go.
Puck bounces to the blue line. Leafs have to wait for teammates to get on side, but couldn't wait long enough. Timmins is taken to the boards aggressively as the puck comes along the wall. Sissons tries to center but can't. Brings the boards to the far side. Nylander hustling after it. Puck in the far boards area now for Wilsby. Wilsby gets it back to the blue line. Side of the net, a deflection in front of the goal. Pad save and a brilliant one by Wall. The puck comes free on the near side, and the Leafs are going to get it to the line and out. What a save by Joseph Wall right there. Predators back into the zone. Jankowski into the slot. Yossi sets it up, and the stick of Timmins deflected that harmlessly wide. Minton fights for it in the far corner. Back it comes to Yossi. He doesn't shoot it. Now he does, and it goes off a skate into the near boards. Back to the point once more. Dropped off for Marchessault. Marchessault going wide. Marchessault trying to get around Riley and failing. Now it's back of the net. Timmins has it in his skates. Riley frees it up. Played off the boards. Nylander trying to get it out, and he'll do it. Little battles, but are being won. Marchessault with a shot. Stopped there by Wall. Played off the boards. Marchessault with it again. 5:44 to play. Marchessault can't center. Back to the point it comes. Near side, a shot by Yossi was blocked. Benoit blocking that as the puck goes down into Nashville territory. Leafs are changing again. Deflected down into the Toronto end. Grabbed off there. Good communication with the goaltender. Marner's able to get it free. Pass on the right wing side for Myers, and he shoots it into the offensive zone for Toronto. Nashville again. Breaking out on the right side. Blankenberg gets it in over the line and into the left wing corner. Forsberg after it there. Ran into traffic. Got it back to the point. Kept in. Blocked again by the Leafs and cleared off the boards to center ice nicely there by Austin Matthews. 4:52 to play. Time ticking away. Off the boards by the Leafs and out at center. That took a strange hop. Thought it went out of play, didn't you?
I thought it went into the bench.
So did I. That's what I meant.
But I also didn't think the first goal was going to end up in the blue paint off the backboards either.
See, you don't follow the game closely enough.
I'm a big fan, though.
Oh, good. Bouncing puck. Into the slot area. Willie comes up with it. Nylander will skate it out. Played it down into the zone. I'm a big fan of your work, too.
Well, thank you. Just do what I love.
Yeah, well. 4:08 to play in the third. Broken up at the Leaf defense. Shot out into the center ice area. This is something that, as boring as it is, this is something that the Leafs never did very well under the previous coaching staff. Am I right?
Well, I think you can go 20-some years with that statement, and I'm not being smart.
I
got to go back a while.
But they're just not. They have not been under siege. They have had the puck in their end a lot, but they have been very controlled with it. Puck comes free. Back from the point it goes. Shot deflects, and now it deflects in as Wall trying to go across. Maybe I should just be quiet. A deflection in front. And a weak backhand that Wall couldn't get to, and Jankowski will cut the margin to 3-2.
22nd shot of the night, and this clanks off the post and in to make this game a little closer. And it's a rolling puck out front. Wall makes the pretty good stop on Jankowski before that, going from his right to his left. And here, this is just a backhand. Jankowski's actually got his back to the net when he finds it. Throws a backhand. It wasn't hard, but Wall had to move to his right and just could not get it blocker side. It was perfectly placed. And Nashville has just made this a little more interesting. I know the game in Tampa on Saturday night, where the Leafs had a big lead in the third period, and Tampa came back with 3 goals to get close. 4-3 at the time. Craig Berube said, I thought we were too passive in our own end. We had to be more aggressive. And I think we're seeing shades of that. They haven't panicked, but still you'd like a little more aggression. They're giving Nashville a little too much time to set up and control it.
Riley's shot off the faceoff went wide of the net. Jankowski's first goal of the season. Riley at his own blue line. Left wing feed Minton. Minton backhands deep into Nashville territory with 3 minutes left to play in the third period. We'll keep an eye on UC Saros to see when Andrew Burnett wants him out of the net. Stamkos can't get the puck deep. And now Ekman Larsson gets it off the stick of Lorentz deep into Nashville territory. Swung around the boards. It's going to come to the blue line and kept in there by Pontus Holmberg. Back of the net, Minton. Lorenz with a pretty good hit, but out come the Predators to center. Sissons gets it in over the line, but it is Tanev there to play it around on the boards, and Ekman Larsson plays it to the line, but not out. Good play by the defense to keep it in. A puck along the boards to the far side. Lorenz after it with 2:19 left to play in the third. Saros remains in the net. The puck comes free and a bank pass to nobody, as the defense was nowhere near where that was. Leafs get a change, but it's back in over the line. Blankenberg loses it. Leafs against the boards, get it out. And down the left wing side comes Austin Matthews. Matthews with a shot. That almost handcuffed Saros, but it's into the corner. 1:52 to play. And most certainly now, Saros will be heading to the bench. Turning in his own zone, Philip Forsberg. Forsberg to the red line. Got it to center and in, and here comes the sixth attacker onto the ice now. Myers playing it back along the boards. It's still free in the Leaf zone. Flip to the line, but not out in a shot. Whistle just wide of the Leaf net. Puck at the side of the goal, jammed at. Down is Wall, and he's got that pad wedged up against the post.
Again, Leafs might have been a little guilty of trying to make little plays to get the puck out instead of just ringing it around the boards or up off the glass. I think it was Austin Matthews that time, Joe, that tried to go up more the middle of the ice. It was after Matthews had an opportunity coming off the wing for his third of the night. But shots on goal now a little closer, 28-24, still favoring the Leafs. And is Nashville going to call a timeout here? Nope.
Well, not at this point. Well, the linesman's coming back.
Oh, there's a stick
down in behind the Nashville goal that is being retrieved, and some debris as well. So the faceoff will be in the circle to the left of Joseph Wall. Matthews will take the faceoff. And it'll be Stamkos taking the draw for the Predators, and the draw won by Toronto. Ripped around the boards. Marner is able to chip it out at center ice. Marchessault back in his own zone. On the wing to Stamkos. Got it across the line. That was close to being offside. Stamkos against the boards. Can't get to it. But Marner does. Marner trying to send it to the goal. And the referee got in the way. 57 seconds left.
And the route the referee took was directly to cut Marner off.
Centering pass comes back into the slot. A shot goes wide of the goal. Tavares now with space and time to center. And the wrist shot goes wide of the goal, and it'll be icing. Matthews sending it from his side of center.
Boy, and Matthews had time, did he? Well, he had a guy closing in on him, but could have chipped it right back to John Tavares on the left wing boards. Instead, he tries to launch it into the empty net. And now I believe we're going to get a timeout from Burnett. I'm not sure what the conversation was with the referee. Gustav Nyquist was talking to the ref.
No, it was, do you need a stick?
Well,
because you're doing a great job of blocking shots.
Yeah,
there.
I mean, obviously, it wasn't deliberate, but the route he took was he was about 10 to 15 feet off the boards around center and turned and then angled towards the blue line right on the boards, like on a diagonal, right in the path of Mitch Marner, because Marner would have had a lane down the left wing side and an empty net to shoot at.
Joseph Wall coming back to the bench and getting his skate looked at. Or will he? Is he going to be allowed to? He's asking the official if he can get his skate looked at. And it appears that he will.
John Tavares out with Marner, Tanev, Ekman Larson, and Austin Matthews.
Were you able to do that when you played? Put your skate up on the board like that and have it looked at?
Not on purpose. Sometimes I got stuck trying to jump over. But no. That was even, we used to admire goalies that could actually fire it with the goalie gloves over the glass.
Yeah. Here we go. Draw is scrummed, but won by Tampa, and Stamkos playing it back to the defense, went all the way back into his own zone. Oh my.
That's the way it's gone for them, isn't it?
Is it ever? Brought to center now and shot into the Toronto end. Wall out of the goal, playing it on the glass. Chip to the line, but not out. Forsberg into the slot, a shot blocked there by Tavares. Down into the corner with 12 seconds left. Here's back to the point now for Josi over to the near side. Kept alive there by Marchessault. Centering pass in front is blocked. Backhand high. Down towards the empty net. hustling after it. Tavares scores. I don't know if it'll count, but it doesn't matter. No, it won't. I don't believe so.
I think Tavares got to it just as time had run out. Irrelevant at this point. Mitch Marner, I believe, was the Leaf that launched it down the ice in the backhand. Yes, it was. If it does count, it's another point for Mitch Marner. But the Leafs win another one when trailing into the third period. They were able to do it the first time this year in Washington against the Capitals. They were down 3-1 in that game. And here, Anthony Stollers gives Joseph Wall the Swayman Allmark hug. I won't be disappointed if that's a one-off.
Yeah, I think I've had enough of it. All right, 3 stars brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care.
All right, can you help me with the third star? We know the first 2 are. I mean, Joseph Wall, I thought was solid, made some big stops. So let's go with him.
All right.
And wins, what, 7 straight, 6 straight?
7.
7. Yeah, so let's go. Joseph Wall is topping 22 of 24 shots, made some big saves at key times for the Leafs.
This is pretty simple.
Yes, but which one do you want to? Who do you want to go second star?
I think Mitch Marner.
All right, yeah, Matthews back with his first multi-goal game. A big part of that. And we'll throw, obviously, Austin Matthews as first star of the game. Honorable mention to Craig Berube, who said, I got to change the lines. We got to get some kind of offense. And very quickly, early in the third period, Berube finds it. And you know what? Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner are like those romantic comedy movies you watch. No matter what's going to happen, they're going to end up together at the end.
I'm going to cry.
It'll be okay.
I always cry at those movies.
In the feel-good movie of the year. But it always seems to be that's a great option to always be able to go back to. And Craig Berube, obviously, with the injury to Matthews, there was success between Marner and John Tavares. But right there, you saw why
absolutely.
Austin Matthews scored 69 goals last year and why Mitch Marner is considered one of the best playmakers in the league.
So there you have it, and an invitation to join us right here on Sportsnet 590 The Fan on Friday night. The Washington Capitals arrive in town, and the Maple Leafs now with a 4-game win streak as they will tangle with them, and we'll have that action for you beginning at 7 o'clock. We'll step aside. Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert with plenty to talk about. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
We bring the boom. That's what we do.
All the viral songs from TikTok's For You page.
What's up, insiders? The Leafs get it done 3-2. Yeah, it wasn't 4-2. Johnny doesn't get the goal, but who cares? Doesn't matter. The Leafs win. That's all that matters. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. There's my night right over there, guys. Right there. That was my night tonight. Thank you. This is the best community in the world. I can't thank you guys enough. My son had a blast at practice with his favorite coach in the world, Coach K. Appreciate you, Coach K, and what you're doing there at Evolution. Keep it up, my man. And we will see you guys real soon. I will let the post-game run. Thank you guys so much for the super chats and the support tonight. Man, what a night. Brandy Gale, thank you, thank you, thank you. Andrew Hurd gifting the membership. I appreciate it. And Pierre LaBelle with the super chat as well. 1,081 likes. Thank you guys. What a night. Mark Daigle, cheers, my man. Brad Smith, cheers. Northern Farm Girl, cheers. Lisa Biza, cheers. Nova Blast, Leafs #1 fan. Good to see you. What a comeback. It was a great comeback. Good win. All right, I'm going to let the post-game run. Head on over. Click that link that I just put out there and go. I'm going to pin that thing to the chat. Go over to that video. That's our community video that I made with Leafs Jelly HD. He did most of the work. I just sent him a couple things and he put it in there. He did most of the work. It's awesome. So I will pin his link as well for his highlights as soon as they get up, probably in about 6 or 7 minutes. Comment in there and let us know where you're watching from and where you're from in this community. And we'll see you guys on Friday night, Leafs fans, and we'll be back at it with the Raptors, I believe, tomorrow night, right? Cheers, everybody. Post-game will run.
Radio Network. There's a Molson with your name on it.
The fantasy football season is winding down, and it's time to put up or shut up. Whether you've clinched a playoff spot or have a must-win game this weekend, get the edge you need with Fantasy Sports Radio.
It's time to go ahead and start to look at the fantasy matchups for the fantasy playoffs and plan accordingly.
It's money time. Every decision is crucial. Every point is precious. You need our team of fantasy football experts now more than ever. Fantasy Sports Radio, Channel 87, and on the Sirius XM app, where fantasy football championships are won.
NHL Morning Skate.
Logan Thompson with the Washington Capitals.
So talk about a team that kind of found their oats again.
Yeah, we've run a lot of young guys who, have a lot of talent, and we're just looking for fresh starts. And credit this dressing room and the leadership that was in this dressing room. They brought us in, and we just gelled so natural. Guys are playing up to their caliber and proving everyone wrong, and it's really fun to see. And
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellar. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on Sirius XM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on demand with the Sirius XM app.
Score!
24/7 hockey talk.
To understand that you are allowed to legally still check the head, not just the head. The head by itself is a penalty. If you wanted to change it, that would be like in the IIHF. That's probably a penalty at the Olympics. That's probably at the World Juniors. That guy's gone and suspended. I ask you, do you want that?
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
The only two players in the history of the National Hockey League to have 600 goals, 1,600 points, 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 Conn Smythes. Wayne and Sid. Just it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio. Brian Burke.
I didn't like Nashville. I don't like the composition. I told you they had too many violins and not enough cellos. So to me, the anticipation was out of line, misplaced. So how do you fix it? I think you got to get back to the very basics. Change the way you play, change your style of play. It's the only thing you can do. You can't change the personnel much.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Network, a 3-2 win for the Maple Leafs over the Nashville Predators. We asked for it. We said, come out in that third period and let's see the big boys do their stuff. And they delivered a very, very fast start and a big win for the Leafs.
There must still be a blender in storage with the Toronto Maple Leafs that Craig Berube was able to utilize in the second
Keith left it
intermission.
In the storage.
Yeah, we went back to Marner and Matthews, it sparked the comeback for the Maple Leafs, who continue to roll this season. Just one last note on the Nashville Predators. They've now scored 2 goals or fewer. This from Alex Moretto of the Hammer. 2 goals or fewer in 17 of 26 games this season. They've lost all 17 of those games. Goal scoring, an issue. They tried to sit on the 1-goal lead in this one.
Didn't work.
And the Maple Leafs finally caught up.
And another win for Joseph Well. That's 6 straight. Okay, we'll take one last look at the NHL scoreboard presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit connexontario.ca.
Bruins doubled up the Blackhawks 4-2, and only 2 other games tonight. Both have not started yet. The Stars and Kings and the Golden Knights and Ducks. They actually have started, the Golden Knights and Ducks, but it is scoreless. Early one.
All right. Our next Sportsnet 590 The Fan Molson Leafs hockey broadcast is this Friday night against the Washington Capitals in a 7 p.m. puck drop. That 30 minutes is going to be glorious.
Those Capitals couldn't even produce one Four Nations face-off member.
They sure couldn't.
Should be easy pickings.
Yeah.
Really.
All right, we'll send it over to Leafs Talk with JD Bunkus and Sam McKee. You've been listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Leafs Talk, JD Bunkus, Sam McKee. The Leafs get another W. They keep stacking them. And the story of the game in this one, brother, is pretty simple. Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews get put back together.
Yeah.
It's so weird. This is the exact reaction that I think that almost every Leaf fan has, is what you just did right now. It's like, all right, I guess so. But like, it was magic. It just worked.
You try to convince yourself that there's other options on this team where it's better when they're apart, when there's all these different, like maybe if you put them on 3 separate lines, or maybe if you do this with this, and it's like, when it comes down to it, you just put those two together and you're promised magic. And I think there is a time when if they play together for too long, there can be some complacency with those two guys where they start to get a little bit too cool for school, a little bit like pass back and forth too much offensively. Like, you never question the defensive stuff with them. Both of them are elite defensive players, but when they are humming, they are amongst the best two guys together in the league. Like, they're in the same conversation with whoever you want to say, Rantanen, McKinnon, Leon Draisaitl, McDavid. When they're together, they're amongst the elite pairs in the league. And boy, it was like the defibrillator for Matthews today. He was pretty sleepy offensively. They put him with Marner, and bing, and was it 3 minutes? They get 2 goals for Matthews. It was pretty amazing.
Dude, I know that Matthews scored last game, right? And the Chicago defense just decided to give him a freebie. They're like, remember when, who was it? Pujols got grooved that fastball to hit, his 300th home run?
Oh, yeah. Not his 300th home run. He had a few more than 300.
Yeah, I know. Oh, well, I don't remember.
Maybe 700?
Maybe 500th home run. Whatever it was that people accused it being a groove ball. The most famous one is Brett Favre laying down like a dog to give Strahan the sack record. Like
the Jeter one, whoever gave for Jeter's in his last at bat ever, he had the walk-off single, and I forget who it was that pitched to him, but everybody accused it of being a juice ball too.
Either way, that was the Blackhawks to Matthews to try to get him right. Like, we love you, Austin. Here you go. Here's a free walk away to just score a goal. So I get it. He had the goal and the assist, but my thought on him through the second period, like I texted it to you and our buddy Justin Bourne in our group chat, like he was having really no impact.
Yeah.
Like what was the noticeable Matthews moment? And then watching him in the third period, like, you definitely give some credit to Mitch Marner for getting him going. Marner was brilliant. Like, Marner just absolutely took over that third, and just like, I got more thoughts on that in a sec. But on Matthews sticking with it, I was like, buddy, were you playing possum? Were you sulking to get with your guy? Because you just immediately turned back into Austin Matthews. I went from, oh my God, maybe he's still hurt. Oh man, it's going to take him some while. I'm going, how much grace are we going to give Austin Matthews before you start to get critical? And then all of a sudden, the third period, he's just like, back to being the big cactus. Like, it was incredible, the transformation that happened there.
And just for a reminder, and just as before we move on from this, Albert Pujols, that was his 700th home run. He hit 703 to finish his career with the Dodgers.
I didn't think he had 300.
Yeah.
I thought it was 700. I just couldn't remember what it was.
I think Craig Simpson did a great job coming out of I think it was into the third period, but highlighting some of the good stuff that Matthews was doing defensively, and that all is still there. You know, the shot blocks below his own goal line, digging pucks out, doing that sort of stuff that when he's on, that's what you expect from him. But then, you know, he had his most noticeable moment for me was when he hits the post before, where it's a great pass out in front, hits the post. That's probably the most noticeable moment that he has. But yeah, I think there is something to be said about chemistry, and there's something to be said about being separated for a period of time where it's been a long time since Matthews and Marner have played together 5-on-5, because Matthews is out for all that time with the injury. And, you know, before that they'd played together, but Matthews wasn't 100%. To get out there with your boy in the third period to have a chance to beat a pretty crappy team, that's kind of their sweet spot. Like, that's kind of like when they get to be those guys together, that is a pretty undeniable force. And it showed to be that tonight.
I got to tell you too, like, I'm going to hold firm on my position. Nothing's going to change my mind that the right thing to do, even if it doesn't really seem as though the Leafs are like, it seems pretty clear now from multiple people I've talked to, including Kipper, that, the Leafs have been trying to get a contract done with Mitch Marner, and that, the most logical outcome here is that he should get a contract with the Leafs. Like, it's difficult to be in a position where you think that he shouldn't be. But if I've always been of like the mind, like the Leafs got to wait. You got to see. And I'm getting the shakes like a full-blown alcoholic, trying not to just be like, I guess press the button, do the signing, give whatever he wants. Just like press it. Just do it. Because God, he's been good, man. Like that, the way he played in that third period, just the entirety of it was incredible. Like full 200-foot kick, just completely took it over. Just said, all right, we're down a goal. And we're having a pretty sleepy effort against a bad team. Yeah, I'm just taking over now. I'm just going to go with my another classic staple, my multi-point night, get Austin Matthews back into feeling the groove, close out the end of the game, draw a huge penalty in a clutch moment. Like, it was just awesome for Marner. I'm at a loss for words with how good he's playing right now.
Yeah, I mean, the guy gets named to Team Canada on the show before this game starts. Like, it's pretty remarkable how well he's playing. And listen, my take on this has been that you plug your nose and you do it. Like, since the start of this season, clearly I've flipped back and forth. Like on the show we do after Game 7, I say trade the guy, like everybody else, like every other.
Yeah, I don't even mind that. I think that's a natural reaction for everybody at this point.
From the start of the season, my take has been you plug your nose and you just take what comes with this and you sign it. Because for me, I talked about this a little bit with Kipper and Borny today, but I'll bring it up here with you. I look at that Predators team as a cautionary tale for what you can do with cap space and like in free agency, right? Because everybody says like, well, if Marner walks and if John Tavares walks, you'll have almost $22 million in cap space. And, the Bennett's of the world, who we both love, like, but the Bennett's of the world are out there, and there's guys out there that, you're going to be a different team. And, everybody said that the Preds on the offseason, I think maybe you zagged on it and said that they weren't going to be any good, and you would be right. I think maybe you said that, or maybe you didn't. Maybe I'm giving you too much credit, but I feel like I remember you saying it was not going to be that good. Anyways, what I'm saying
I was the one person that said the Preds were going to suck before the season started. I didn't buy
remember that.
Yeah. Like I got mocked for it by everybody in the hockey cognoscente. Everybody said the same thing. They're like, you're an idiot. They're going to be great. I was like,
I just like, be careful what you wish for, because you never win in free agency. And like, sure, you can let Marner go and you can walk away, and like, you can try to spend his money on Sam Bennett or whatever else on free agency. That's fine. But like, there's just no way you're going to be a better regular season team, and there's no way you're going to be better.
Yeah, but I don't agree with that. Like, I think that you could maybe not be as good of a regular season team. You're not taking the best player, but to me, it's more like if you flame out in the postseason again, like what is the urge to say that you just have to capitulate every single dollar that you have to run back a formula?
If he doesn't sign before the playoffs, it's over either way. Like, I don't think there's a world where
you think that it's over. He won't come back.
Yeah. Like, I don't think you're going to, I don't think so you think if they win a couple rounds and he like, I don't know. It just, I think if it gets to that point, it's probably over. I think it is a mid-season thing.
I think the only way he's not a Leaf is that he looks at it and goes, personally, he wants to move on. Like we talked about this when I came on as a guest on your guys' show.
Yeah.
Like it brought up the case of, hey, do you want to raise a family and be in the spotlight for the rest of your career? Is this something that you're willing to do? Or do you want to take on a new challenge and be somewhere else where, yeah, you're welcomed and the heat is off a little bit? I think that's what it's really going to come down to. The Leafs are going to offer him money, man. They're already offering him money. Like that's going down today. So I don't think that it's going to be a timing issue. To me, it's just flat out still more likely to me that he remains a Toronto Maple Leaf, that it does go down to the wire. And maybe he just wants to, see what else is out there or keep his options open, which to me is totally fine. You earn your right to get to free agency. You do that thing. But yeah, either way, tonight just is keeping it to this game. He continues to be on an absolute heater. And I think that the one thing that I fear about him going back with Matthews is tonight. It's a good thing to try to get Austin Matthews going, right? And he's always a deferral player. Like, he's a playmaker. But one of the things that we have seen in the absence of Austin Matthews is like his goal scoring go up a tick, his presence on the line and his puck possession go up. And I think that he's the better of the two when it comes to like being the player who enters the zone and sets things up. And so I actually like the two of them can, when they're out their very best, go into that, like, you know, Super Saiyan mode of just absolutely dominate and crush a team like Nashville. But I'm still not convinced that at the end of the day, that is what is going to be best for, I wouldn't say both players, because I think it's pretty clearly better for Matthews, but I don't know if it's going to be what's best for the team. I don't know if it's going to be for Marner. So I think you kind of nailed it when you said sometimes they can get complacent. And if that happens again, which we know it will over the course of an 82-game regular season, then Berube should be like very quick to switch it up and change it up. And then you have the Domi factor. Like, sorry, I'm going on long here, but it's like,
that's okay.
What happens when Domi comes back? Are you going to stick him with Minton? I think it actually gives you an option to do it and let him play the wing because Minton's been playing so well. But I also wonder if there's a little bit of maybe you try to see if you can get Domi and Matthews to rekindle their spark that they showed last season and try to get more from a guy that's making almost 4 sheets in Domi than what you got before he left. So there's still more questions to come. I don't think it's a lockstep certainty that these two play, you know, even the next couple of weeks together. But I think that for now, what you saw tonight, you got to roll over to the next game.
Yeah, you do. You just do. Yeah, I think it's a nice thing to be able to go to for sure. And you saw, like, I think what you saw tonight from the Leafs in terms of just the Berube doing the line switch, I thought was a great feel for the game. Definitely. Which is like, he hasn't gone to that very often. Like, you know, he's been pretty good. Like, he's switched up the lines a couple of times. Like, I remember when they were getting blown out by Columbus, he did it. He did it when they were getting smoked by the Blues in that game at home. The one time he did it.
It's different though when you're getting blown out than when you're just in a game against a Nashville team 1-0. Like, they had no pulse really in that second period. I thought they were the better team, but like all the turnovers that were happening, they weren't getting to the middle of the ice. They weren't really deeply threatening this wasn't wave after wave of just scary shifts, right? Like, they deserve to be broken up.
The thing that, you know, is different with a sleepy night from the Leafs under Berube versus under Keefe is that they're still committed to like the defensive side of it. Like,
they've got better defensive guys.
Well, sure. But like everybody is in on it. Like, I really feel like the middle of the ice is just completely under wraps. You know, even when Tanev's on it, like you see Timmins out there, you see Benoit out there, you just like, they are totally committed. And I actually thought the worst that they were all night defensively was the second they went up 3-1 when after was it Nyes it was a beautiful pass by Nyes over to Willie on the power play.
Yeah.
I thought
Nyes, Willie
yeah. What did I say? Yeah, I thought I said that. Anyways, I thought that after that moment, they kind of went to sleep and they were like, oh, this game's over. And then Nashville had a really good push. But I think that just, if there's one thing I could say about them, it's just there's a lot more patient when it's not going early. Like, they're just less cheating. They're less pressing. They're less like, they let the game come to them a little bit more than they did in years past. And I think that's pretty much, you got to give Berube credit for that. You really do.
Yeah, I agree. It was a really good feel for the game, especially given that it was 1-0. And same thing too with the demotion of Pontus Holmberg, which was so needed.
Holy man.
I don't know what was said in between the periods. Like, maybe one of the assistants pulled up like a highlight reel of just, hey, here's all the goals we could have.
Berube went over to him. He's like, hey, would you mind using a hockey stick instead of a broom ball stick? Would that help? Would that help your game?
It's just, and again, it feels weird when we come on here after every game and we're kind of talking about the same guys not performing well, right? It sucks. You know, I don't like doing it. You don't like doing it. It's funny once in a while mixing it in, but I was just thinking that the story of this game through 2 periods to me was going to be like this Pontus Holmberg thing has to end. Like, we got to start like a letter writing campaign to the Maple Leafs to get Craig Berube to fall out of love. Yeah, like, dearest Craig, we plead you, to whom it may concern. We are dying watching this guy play.
We got to get savvy in a group chat with the both of us being like, you got to tell him. You got to
Please somebody get through to him, because it ain't working. It's not a thing. Stop trying to make Holmberg happen. I think that he's fine down the lineup as a clock killer player. He gives good effort. Like, he drew a penalty tonight. He doesn't make a ton of bad mistakes, but just offensively, I just don't think that there's enough bodies you can lose that justify him being in the top 6 with those guys.
And it's funny because, when you think of options to go up there, you're obviously like, we had the conversation, it's like, well, who goes there?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I never really
like how you said that like a night watchman. Who goes there? Who goes there? Who goes there? You got the flashlight out. You're trembling, like trying to get your walkie-talkie out to go talk to that
big ring of keys that I'm just like jangling around. But like, you didn't even consider Minten because you think of him as like a center, right? You think you're like, wow, you don't want to neuter the bottom 6 by taking him out of it because he's been so good defensively. But Pontus Holmberg can be a third line center, kind of like in a pinch in a game like that. And I thought that that's another great read by the coaching staff of the Leafs to put Minten in that spot. He fully earned that throughout the game, where it was like, yes, he deserves it. Like, he's making good reads. He can at least receive a pass. Like, he can put the puck towards the net at least. And I thought he had 2 or 3 really good chances in this game. He had the great tip on the power play, the second unit, tried to jam it home. Like, I continue to be really, really impressed with this kid. I'm not sure what he ended up playing tonight, but it felt like he played a lot. Maybe I'm wrong. No, down 13, 23. Yeah. Felt like he was out there more, but he's really impressing me.
But he was, because if you probably look at the breakdown of when that happened, it was as the game went on and the game got more important. And I would recommend, again, not just because it is my show, and I like it when people listen to my show, but I had Craig Simpson on today, and he was excellent talking about Fraser Minten. And a point that he made about him that I think was a really salient one is that he looks the exact same as he's looked down at the AHL level, right? Like, and it was 5 games with the Marlies, but he went 5 games with the Marlies, 5 games with the Leafs. He's got the exact same point totals, and he doesn't look overwhelmed. And yeah, maybe that happens, right? Like, dude, who's to say Fraser Minten doesn't hit 30 games in the NHL, and then we're starting to beep on here going, yeah, he's not ready, man. He's a little kid with a baby face, and he's worn down. I know. But his game is mature, right? Like, his game is far more mature than what his face looks like. And to me, that's kind of the biggest thing about Fraser Minten so far, is what Craig said on my pod today, which is that it's like the guy looks the same at both levels. Like, he's just playing his game. He stays within himself, and he continues to provide value on that. And so, yeah, as of today, like we said last time, we said last show, but I'll double down on it. You just can't make the case to me right now that the Toronto Maple Leafs are a better hockey team if they were to take Fraser Minten off the roster rather than Pontus Holmberg.
No way. And like, when they're gonna get Domi back here soon.
Yeah,
he's trending in the right direction. I think Berube was talking about Pacioretty trending in the right direction. There's 2 more bodies for me, but if I have my choice, the next 2 are Robertson and Holmberg out before Minten. No question.
Unquestionable.
Oh, actually, no, I take that back. Holmberg stays in. It would be Grabankin and Robertson out for the next 2.
I was surprised to see the panel saying that they would want to keep Grabankin in there because they like the physical edge and stuff. I was like, man.
I thought he was really bad tonight in his whatever he plays 7 or 8 minutes. He doesn't play much.
He got obliterated by Shen. As like, it was a real tough moment because he was like, our love of Luke's troops. Seeing him,
I still loved it. Like,
how could you not?
Do we have that clip of Shen get? Yes, we do. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Like, it's so funny because everyone's like, Grabankin, he's pretty physical, he's pretty big, and then you're like, no, that's big and physical. Like, Luke Shen, Saskatchewan, that is big and physical. That's Luke's troops, and like, the sight of Luke Shen's face makes me smile.
Dude,
I truly love that guy.
That was the guy that's a Saskatchewan boy who's eating his Wheaties for 37 years or whatever. It's like he's ready to go into the corner with Grabankin. What I will say about Grabankin, to give him a little bit of love here, is he gets right back up and he gets right back involved in the physical play. And you could tell that he's got that little bit of psycho to him, because if you would have extended this pack the rest of his shift,
he's going crazy.
He's going crazy. He's trying to get the hit back. And I like that about him, man. He's got a fire to him that I really, really enjoy about Gurbankin's game. But yeah, if you're saying
so he ended up playing, how much do you think he played tonight? He played 7:30 tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say, like,
by far the least.
Yeah, and he's going to go down, and he doesn't require waivers.
Yeah.
So it's an obvious decision that they're going to end up making there when it comes to the roster. But I think that there's now a growing buffer between Minten and the other guys, even knowing that they need waivers. Like, to me, it's still the case of you would rather trade Robertson and take whatever you can get to keep Minten up on the roster at this point.
Yeah,
knowing especially that you're eventually going to make trades and put other forwards on this team anyways. And I will say this too about Robertson, like, he looked like he was trying out there again tonight. Like, I'm
not doing this every night. Next question. No comment.
Yeah, he was trying. He was
except I don't know. I should have told Show to clip this, and there's no way he has it. But there's this play, I think it was in the first period, where like he comes off the sideboards, tries to walk into the middle, looks like Willie's staring right at him with his stick on the ice, and he's just like, I'm the only guy out here. I'm just the guy. Like, I have to do this or else I'm not in the lineup. I am the only guy. Like, what his priorities are versus what the Leafs, but it's like, it's the Leafs and Robertson. It's like two separate entities when they're out there. He skates really hard, gets a puck, rips. Like, he's not thinking about anybody else. He's thinking about 89. And it's just so obvious.
By the way, just to close the Shen loop.
Yeah.
I was thinking about so one of my big takeaways from this game and just thoughts lately on team is OEL looks so much better on his natural side. Like, he's like, the experiment of having him with Riley is not, and you actually saw when they had Hakanpää, right? Like, they went with Hakanpää right away with Riley. Yeah. They decided, okay, no, we're going back to the lefty righty.
I know where you're going here, bud.
Bring him home.
Oh, big time! Bring him home. Couldn't agree more.
They're 7-21, dude. Like, they're cooked. They're done. And I know they got overtime losses in there, but like, they've got 7 wins, 21 losses. Like,
yeah, they're bad. They are a horrific hockey team. Yeah,
they're a bad hockey team. Bring them home. Find a way.
Was it a 2-year or 4-year? What's his contract situation?
No. I think it was a 3-year deal, but I think he's got this year and one more on it. You can pull it up on whatever
right now. Cap wages, which is the most like cap friendly RIP.
But yeah, rising cap. Question marks about Hakanpää, whose career I wrote off yesterday, but then somehow he's on Team Finland. I'm going to be sour. He goes to Team Finland and he plays heavy minutes and then comes back.
People are whining about Team Canada's decor. I'm like, bud, Sweden just named Hakanpää.
So it's like he comes back and he's not himself. He pulls the Joel Embiid of like, go play for your country, and then you can't come back healthy for your team. Yeah, I don't know how much I'll love that.
So Luke Shen is this year at 275 and then next year at 275. Bring him home. Absolutely bring him home. Like, no question. It's just, he's the perfect guy to play with Riley. Like, he's like that 14-minute night where he starts with Riley. You can play there. You have Tanev. That's like the real shutdown pair.
OEL Riley over to the left, plays with either Hakanpää or Timmins.
Yeah, it's the perfect guy. He was the perfect guy, and he went and he got his money there after a up and down career where he finally plays 1,000 games. He got his money, and now it's time for him to make his money in Toronto.
You got to watch Ryan O'Reilly break out his guitar all the time. Guys, you want to hear a song? Like, it's basically back to first year res in the dorm rooms, just seeing the guy break out. You guys want to hear Wonderwall again? No, I don't. You guys want to hear Pinker by Weezer? Like, no. Bring him home.
Gotta ask you. I don't know how many more big things you have from this game tonight.
I got a couple tiny things.
Did Steven Stamkos play tonight outside of taking a penalty?
Yeah.
Like, holy. I love Stamkos. I mean, I shouldn't say I love him. Big respect.
Having him on the like snubbed list by the Sportsnet.
Oh my God.
Tavares, I thought was offensive.
Oh, like, who's playing, like, Tavares is playing excellent. Yeah. Like, he's playing the first line for a team that's leading the Atlantic Division, got a point per game guy. And like, what Stamkos got 13 points, dash, whatever. There's no comparison between the way those two guys are playing. But I feel a little bit for Stamkos, right? Because there probably was a contract with the Tampa Bay Lightning that was probably a little bit offensive, right? There's no way it wasn't offensive to him. And he's got a ton of pride. He's one of the best players of this generation. He's almost scored 600 goals in his career. I understand. Like, I truly understand being insulted by a franchise that you're the captain of, you're the face of the franchise, all that stuff.
Yep.
But boy, man, when he gets home and talks to his wife and he's like, God, probably should have just taken the 3 or 4 mil in Tampa and stayed in Tampa. Like, and just been the captain and been a legend there and just finished one team. It's like, and now he's fighting away with this crappy team that's about to blow everything up. And it's like, where's the path for them to be good? They just suck. They just have so many nondescript players. And it's like,
dude,
I don't know.
The path for them to be good is already there. They got Saros.
Yeah, no. And it's just like, and he's good.
He's amazing.
And their penalty kill's the best in the league.
Yeah.
And it's like they're the worst team in the league. It's like they cannot score. They don't generate. The fact that they scored 2 tonight against the Leafs, it's like they never score. I think they're the worst team in the league 5-on-5 by far. They just I feel for Stamkos because he clearly made a prideful decision, but it's not working out for him. He's rich. It's rich. He's working out for him well, but it's not for.
He's gonna be all right.
Yeah,
they can score just so long as a puck goes off the glass and bounces right onto the.
That was a weird one. That's one of the weirdest bounces I've ever seen.
I couldn't believe it. It was so funny too because our boy Chris, who's just the ultimate Leafs hater, texted me right away. He's like, "Thought Wool was good." I was like, "Oh,
who texted you that?"
Yeah,
who did?
Chris. I was like,
"Oh my god!"
I was like, "Chris, he just texted. I thought you said Wool was good." It was an all-time hater text. I laughed so hard. Yeah. I was like, I can't believe you fired that one off to me on this one. Yeah, this is like one of the weirder bounces that you're ever going to see. I got tears in my eyes laughing at that. I thought you said Wool was good. Yeah, all-timer.
Yeah. Another quick thing for me. I don't know if another one that I should ask to get clipped, but it's been 600 games in the NHL for Mitch Marner. This is a 601st, right?
Mm-hmm.
Threw his first punch tonight, I think. When the guy came in on the breakaway, was it Sissons that comes in on the breakaway in 68, one of the no-namer guys that they have on that team, rookie, forget the kid's name, but he digs in hard on Wall, and Mitch Marner, first on the scene, gives him a little cross-check, and then a punch in the face, and Nyes comes in. I was like, oh my God, is this a new Happy Gilmore? What's going on here? I couldn't believe it. He punched him at the end of the play. I was really surprised by that. He's never done anything close to that.
I'm really racking my brain about a time where he's thrown a punch.
This never happened. Like, buddy, we watch this team every night. We have a doctorate in this team. It's never happened. Like, he's been in scrums or whatever, but for him to initiate and punch is totally out of character.
Yeah, I like that. I like that pickup. Like, you're right. I think you're bang on, but that's the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah.
Tanev blocked a shot tonight where I lived in fear. And
our lives flashed before our eyes.
Yeah, it's just immediate. It's going to happen. I bet once every 2 to 3 weeks.
Yep.
You're going to get a Tanev block shot where he goes to the bench and you have to basically think about nothing other than is he okay for the following 4 shifts.
And guess what? That big old mane and that ugly face just comes right over the boards immediately.
He was hovering over the boards too, just still standing on his feet. I'm like, God, I love this guy, man. I'll tell you right now, if Canada loses, you know that my first tweet is going to be Parayko over Tanev, eh? Question mark.
I got to tell you, I love our team a lot. I know we're going to do a lot of it on both of our shows tomorrow, but I love our team. And I feel I'm a little bit embarrassed that I didn't have more Parayko buzz for him to actually make the team, because it's I didn't really consider him. You think about all the other guys, and it was a stupid miss by me. I never even considered him really as an option. But Doug Armstrong's the general manager. He's a big, rangy, long, good shutdown defenseman, shoots right. In years past, he would have been a lock for this team when we would talk about Canadian guys. So I'm happy to see him there. I really think they nailed it. And, the thing to me, you wanted Wilson over Bennett. To me, Bennett's a better offensive player than Tom Wilson is. And you still get a little bit of that snot.
I wanted Wilson over Bennett, and I wanted Tanev over. That's
fair. Both of those are fair. But I'm not going to die on either of those hills.
And again, I don't know what. I'm fine being called a casual.
Maybe have Tavares over Seth Jarvis would probably have been as the 13th forward would probably been acceptable.
Listen, man, I was joking about this on my pod today about how it's like Leaf fans are the funniest group of people who ever existed. Like they've been hammering Tavares. He's washed. He sucks. He's terrible. Can't believe this contract.
Talking to me. I get it.
He plays a good set of games, and all of a sudden they're like, why isn't he with McDavid on Team Canada? Like, he's good. He's having a good year, but
not a full snub. But like, I mean,
it's not a snub. It's not a snub. It's a totally reasonable and fine decision. And you got to remember too that when it comes down to splitting hairs, you got to be thinking about Olympics. Okay, sure. So that's to me a part of this roster is.
Why do you think Montembeau's there?
That's what I mean. And why do you think even for like the Tom Wilson conversation with Bennett, you go, well, what's more likely next year? Wilson's still healthy and playing good like this way, or that Sam Bennett's going to be there. So to me, I completely understand almost all of the roster moves and even the Parayko one. It's just, to me, I just have a tougher time feeling like there's too many guys out there, or that all those guys out there are going to inspire the same kind of confidence that I'm going to get from a Chris Tanev on the ice. That was my only kind of like real Leaf pushback one, but whatever. It's Team Canada, dude. They got to win. And now I'm fully back. Like I'm a Patriot again. I care. I deeply care. I want them to win this tournament. I don't care if it's a fake tournament. It's the first time we've gotten best on best in a long time. And it feels more legit than the one that we did here in this city where they brought in Team North America. Like there's no gimmick teams. The teams are real. I know it's a short tournament. It's just a dry run for the Olympics. But
Borny said it best today in a show, or I forget who told. He said he was just like, everyone says, "Oh, it's a made up tournament." It's like, well, they're all made up. The Stanley Cup was made up. Like it's all made up.
Yeah. The Olympics they think were started in like because what was it, like traders would come to town from like different towns in Greece and be like, hey, I got the best ox. Like we got ox, like it's like agriculture conference that started the Olympics. Like that's where the boys started to get together. So it's all made up. Like what are you talking about here? So it was literally like we got the fastest guy in town. They're like, okay. And they just did the 200 meter because they went, hey, we got our boy in our town is faster than your boy in your town. And that's the Olympics. It's all made up. So everything starts somewhere. But I just think that when you have a more premier tournament like the Olympics coming back, I get looking forward, stargazing a bit. But to me, it's just like, this is a good one. Like this is cool to watch. And Canada's going to play the United States. And if we lose, I'm going to be extremely pissed off. It's going to ruin me for weeks. I'll be thinking about it. So I care. I absolutely care.
We gotta go because we've been going on for so long here. But the last quick thing, I made this point to you earlier in the season, and I'll make it here now again quickly. It's going to be really interesting to see like what the Four Nations thing does for the relationship with Willie Nylander and Austin Matthews in the city, and to a much lesser extent, Yanni Hakanpää, of course, because he's going for the Finnish team. But no, I just mean like these two guys who are going to be the best players on their respective teams. Like, Nylander's the best forward, probably, right? Like he's up there. Like, you look at the other guys in their team. Matthews is the best forward on USA. There's a chance here for some big time goals by those guys against our beloved country, against our beloved Canada. And it's going to be really interesting to see how people react. Because I'm going to be like fully hating those two guys. I know it. Like, I absolutely know it. I'm going to be like cheering for Sam Bennett and Brandon Hagel and MFing Willie Nylander and Austin Matthews. It's going to be a very weird thing.
Listen, I'll tell you one thing right now. I want Canada to win the tournament.
Of course.
Clearly. But this is basically, to me, like what we saw in college football this past weekend where Ohio State like lost to Michigan, but they're still in the college football playoffs and they could go win the college football playoffs. If Canada lost to the States in this tournament, and found a way to, still have success, like, I don't care. This tournament to me is purely like America's been talking a lot of noise about how
you just care about America. Like Sweden can have it, Finland can have it. Don't care. It's all America.
If you told me right now, hey, you can beat the States, but then you lose the other two games.
Done. Agree.
Or roll the
handshake on that. Totally handshake.
Done. Yeah. Cannot give the States an inch here. Cannot let them have them. We got hockey now. It's our game. We did the blah, blah, blah. No.
Can't have it.
It just can't happen, bro. It can't. No. This tournament should be called Two Nations.
Two Nations. They should have a 7-game series because that's all that matters. Sorry, Sweden and Finland.
Between these two teams on a Saturday night. That's all that matters. Dude, that night, Like that night, I'm telling you, against the USA.
Saturday night at the Bell Center, baby.
I will not be happy until Olympics.
Yeah.
Like I will be in a state of disrepair. Like you'll see me on here going, why is JD quiet tonight? It's like, because he's thinking about Canada losing the United States.
You think we're bad after playoff losses with the Leafs? I don't know if you want to see us after a Canada loss to USA.
No, cannot happen. Anyways, thank you to everybody that shared their Spotify raps with us. Had us. Right. Well, that's a lot.
Is that true?
That's a good one. Yeah, it's a good one. That's true. Yeah, of course. It's true.
I thought maybe showed his juice and numbers for the boys.
Yeah, do Photoshop, put a 2 instead. Anyway, yeah, we're up year over year on everything and YouTube as well. So like the YouTube, again, people listen to this thing on Apple, Spotify, whatever. Spotify, it's cool that we get the Spotify rap sent to us, but ultimately, like however you consume the show, like it means the world to us. Like truly,
it really does.
We like do this after almost every single game, and we love it and we feel privileged. And I think that we've expressed our gratitude multiple times, and I don't think that it's too much to express it every once in a while. And so without trying to sound like too much, it's real sweet. It's really sweet to see the amount of minutes that people
love all
hang
you.
with us.
Yeah, I truly love all you guys, even the meanies. Like I love you guys.
Even the meanies,
This is blowing my mind how much people care about this show, and like from where we started to where we are now, it really blows my mind how much people care, cool. and I care about every single one of you, even the meanies, meanies.
And listen, again, it actually does help us too when you share the Spotify rap. So if we are in your top 5. Tag us and share it. We appreciate it. All those things. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you are. YouTube, Apple people that get left out in the cold during this type season. We're thinking about you.
I will not be sharing my top 5 Spotify rap this year. It is cripplingly embarrassing. So I will not.
I didn't get podcasts on mine because I don't listen. I actually do listen to my pods all on Apple, but my music was very much the exact same thing, which is always the same, which is hip hop and punk rock music. I had like West Side Gun 1, Conway 2, NoFX 3, Distillers 4, and Benny the Butcher 5. Like it's just the most obvious. I like Griselda and punk rock from the late 90s, early 2000s.
I will abstain from sharing my list, but here's what I'll say. My take that I have every year, I'll keep it. They just elevate the popular artists. There's no way that's actually my list.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not actually a basic ass. You know what? Like,
I know. It's cool, brother. It's cool. Yeah. You can.
What do you want from me?
Your Father John Misty, rip it.
There is a Father John Misty is in the top 5.
Yeah, of course there's a Father John Misty. I know there's a Father.
Kanye West is in there, of course.
I know what you're doing. We're
always the same.
We're just the same guys. We're too old. We're washed. It's done. We're not changing. We're not mixing. We'll mix in the new albums, but ultimately, like we are who we are. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'm off Friday. You're with Anthony Petrelli.
Oh right, nice. A holiday day off.
Yeah, we're back on. Yeah, I got my mom in town.
Nice.
Take care of the fam. And then we're back together on Saturday. So it's all normal. Yeah.
Dubas Bowl on Saturday night.
Yeah, Dubas Bowl. Yeah, no, it's doing great. Yeah, it's really special. Anyway, it's still a rivalry. Anyway, we'll see you then.
Stadiums for the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuss shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in.
What's up, hockey fans? Thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out with us during the Leafs game tonight. And I just wanted to say thank you. I'm back. I'm feeling much better. I was down for about 16 to 18 hours, and now I'm back feeling good. So I appreciate everybody. The last game understanding while I was playing the recorded messages from Saturday night's game. That we're done with that now. Tonight, I'm sitting at soccer practice, though, because I'm a busy dad of 4, living the dream. So my people are running it tonight from home, and I'll be in the chat hanging out with you guys. So any super chats, anything like that, we'll let the list run. I'll update that as we go because I'll be listening to the game right there at practice. We'll see you guys back in the chat. Go Leafs, go!
You've been listening to NHL Play-by-Play on SiriusXM. Head over to SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, for the best hockey talk.
I had the blessing to do some work for the governor of New York when he was vice president, Nelson Rockefeller, and he had that famous picture where he was being heckled, and he offered his opinion of that. And that picture of him flipping the bird was, I figured, a nice gift to send Dave Checketts, who's a good friend of mine, by the way.
I love it. I never knew that. I love it.
Follow every second of the action on NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Wednesday, December the 4th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 7:30 p.m., Toronto Maple Leafs take on the Nashville Predators. Maple Leafs on Sirius and XM channels 167, Internet 946. Predators on Internet 935. 7:30 p.m., Chicago Blackhawks take on the Boston Bruins. Blackhawks on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 925. Bruins on Internet 921. 10 p.m., Anaheim Ducks face the Vegas Golden Knights. Ducks on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 920. Knights on Internet 949. 10 p.m., LA Kings take on the Dallas Stars. Kings on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 932. Stars on Internet 928. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Wednesday, December the 4th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 7:30 p.m., Toronto Maple Leafs